following announcement has been paid for by Casey is Raw. And welcome to Wednesday Night Nitro, live from YouTube with your hosts AJ Raider, Casey is Raw, and Steve Colan. What's going on, buddy?
Not much. How you guys doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you guys all doing?
Good.
Doing good. You missed a great stream last night, Casey.
Yeah, you missed that shit. You missed it.
Well, last night I was. Are you talking about last night?
Yeah.
Last night I was slept a little bit, and then I was playing Fortnite, and then I got the wrap up for the night, and then one of Frank's buddies from his show was playing there, and I continued for about another hour with him.
Oh.
Yeah. So, have you seen the the edit version of this? I can redo it one more time if you want to see it.
What?
The intro.
I just did the Nitro. Yeah, I mean, if you want to.
I'll flash the beginning. Because I didn't know when you were going to come, so I was like, I'll just
It was just random. Like, literally, I saw it go live. Like, for some reason, my Twitter DMs don't pop up in our group chat no more. Like, literally, I have to jump into Twitter and fucking, like, yeah, and it's weird. So it's like, all of a sudden, I seen it said Wednesday Night Nitro's live. I'm like, oh, shit. So I hopped on real quick, and good thing it was the intro was still going. I'm like, all right, I could still go and get in before, I have to go do my part. I got to re-record. I got to record that intro. Like the hype intro into it.
Yeah.
And then send it and then have you edit it into it.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
And I'll flash the beginning of this. I mean, the rest of it's the same, but I took some of your artwork and integrated into the intro. So watch this.
Okay.
The following announcement has been paid for by Casey is Raw.
Oh, I like that.
That's good. Yeah.
I like that. See, I have that creative mindset that literally I just see shit and I'm like, that is fucking gold.
Yeah,
literally.
I just took your artwork and I worked on it a little bit while we were talking in the
Who was
chat.
that voice? Was that you?
Yeah.
Oh,
That was good, dude. Yeah, that was good.
I didn't even know that was you.
Yeah, I had very. I mean, you had to do very, like what was it I used to say? Growly.
Yeah.
Like really sketchy, low voice, and
Oh my god!
I wanted to get a sound bite, but I said, "Fuck it, I'll just improvise." And I actually did it for Friday is Raw as well. So,
Nice.
So let's go ahead and say hi to everyone in chat.
Oh, I gotta wait. Hold it. I don't even think there's anybody in here yet. But I was gonna say, did you like that new background? Because I see we have that as our setup. I like that. Like when I popped that on, like I thought about that, and I put the the CR. Like literally, I found that texture, the NWO texture. That
Nice.
whole thing, I found that online. I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna fucking try, and I'll play with it and see how it works. And sure as shit, it looked good as hell.
It
I'm
looks
like,
great, man. It looks awesome.
yeah, because I didn't want to do the whole fucking the black and white one because I thought it's so played out. I was
Yeah,
like, well, why not the Wolfpack one? Because the Wolfpack one was so much better.
yeah, that one was the more. Yeah, I agree.
And I like that you changed your new logo right there in the corner with the CRS for Casey is Raw. That's cool, dude. I like that.
Frank.
That could be a T-shirt. That would be, people that would think, homage back to like the NWO Wolfpack one. But you see
Right?
that's fucking cool.
I'm thinking about tweaking it a little bit and have it, and it's kind of small. So I'm probably what I'll do is
Well, you see how I have that right there where it has like, how it says like Casey is Raw's Gaming Podcast Network?
Yeah.
But I have that same exact one that says Casey is Raw in that same form with the thicker. I sent it to you.
Yeah. I just threw this up there real quick.
Oh, okay.
So, but I'm gonna modify that a little bit more when I layer on. But let's go ahead and say hi to everyone in the chat. We got Fortnite is Raw. He's upset that I'm not playing with him right now, but I played with him last night. We got Mikkel.
What's going on, Mikkel? We got Brad. What's going on, Brad?
Yeah, Gringo Okie.
Yo.
Big T.
Oh, we forgot Casey is Raw.
Oh. We got Frank, the harsh truth.
What's going on, Frank? What's going on, Big T?
Yo, Trek.
What's going on, Trek? Hey, Trek, if you want to join, buddy, I can send you the link.
Yeah, go ahead. The link.
All right.
And we got TSS in the chat
Michael,
as well.
get yourself on here, Michael. The one that.
Don't let me get started on that. So you know how did he tell you? Because he called me like an hour ago and said, I might call in for a little bit, but I'm sick because I drank too much alcohol. And I said this. I said, did I put a gun to your head and told you to drink all that? No, I didn't do shit.
That's not even half of it.
Casey drank. Casey, you remember your birthday bash, right? How we were all getting fucking drunk. Okay, tell me this: how I literally drank a shit ton of beer and alcohol and smoked weed on top of it, and then Mikkel was doing the same damn thing, and you were the late one on your show. And tell me how I went to work the next day still fucked up, and I believe you did your video stream that you do usually. The pickups one.
Yeah.
Tell me how you do that.
The very next night I went out.
Was very disappointing last night.
Yeah, tell me how that happens. And Mikkel's like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to come on Nitro. Dude, get your ass the fuck on here. Quit being such a bitch.
Not even that.
I mean, I think it affects people in a different way. Like, I never had a hangover from alcohol.
You know what happens? You know what you should do if you have a hangover from alcohol? What they say is keep drinking more.
That's what I do.
I keep drinking more.
Hey, Tex would even tell you that.
That's what I do. It works.
But I never get it. The only time I ever get any type of hangover, it's nothing like a headache or anything like that. It's let's say if I took like 2 Benadryls or something, and I wake up and like I feel like I don't want to get up. I'll be like, oh, I'm too drowsy.
Michael, get on here, Michael. I'm not very happy with Michael, anyways.
Well, go ahead. Tell him your story.
Okay, so you know the Vegas Golden Knights won, right? And so I was drinking, and I'm showing the razor to Trek and AJ on the stream of that live, and Michael had the desk to say, "No, I don't see it." Like, oh. And then I don't know, I just, Michael.
That was pretty fun though. 3 hours though. That was
It
pretty fun.
was. Yeah, if everybody didn't see.
Yeah. He lived up to his bet. After 8 weeks, he lived up to his bet.
And they used your shaving cream either, Casey.
He went raw dog. He literally he went on camera with just a razor and shaved it.
For that.
See, I don't like, honestly, for me, I rather use a trimmer because one, like, I like just trim my beard up and pretty much if I want to trim my beard up, I'm gonna be shaving my head anyway. So
Well, your shave is already shaved already, anyways. Though you got really no hair, but
He's got hair on the sides.
I know. I'm just kidding. I got the you got hair. I know.
I got the Mr. Burns hairstyle.
Yeah,
now. It's sad because I believe
technically, the many faces of Casey, you have John Gruden. You could turn into John Gruden instantly, Casey.
Oh no! TSS does bring up a good point. That about this part. About me not trimming.
We know one place. Oh yeah, his back hair.
I'm like, how am I supposed to trim that? I'm not.
You can't even see your back.
Well, I mean, like that's just hard. Unless someone's gonna do it for me, I just can't do it. But with Brad being here, he can confirm this. I swear there's a fucking curse on me and him. Because in high school, our buddy Bear, we used to make fun of him because he was balding. He was actually using Rogaine in school. Not even high school. He was already balding in like intermediate high school. And we teased him. And of course, now we're both balding pretty bad.
Karma got you guys.
Yeah.
The karma got you.
The karma got me. But today it was the first time I watched AEW Dynamite pretty much live last night.
Really?
Today.
It was a great show. It was probably my highest rating of a review that I ever gave Dynamite on my channel.
Oh,
I seen a little bit of it.
Oh, if I suggest anything, definitely
it was great.
Match.
Everything was great from the start to the end. It was, especially when they went back to.
What was that, Casey? I'm sorry. I was sending out the link.
Oh, the opening match to me
was. Oh my god, that was like an hour-long match. Oh my goodness.
No, it was a half an hour.
Well, half an hour, but still, that was still good. Like to get that much time, respect. Like that was good though.
Oh yeah, it was very good match. I was glad to sit down and actually watch it because the last few weeks I've been missing Dynamite, and I just like, you know what, I want to sit down and watch it today. And
there you go.
What'd you think of it, Casey?
It was good. I mean, between the first part of the show for the first half an hour was great.
Okay.
And then they I think right after that they had the 8-man tag team match. I'm not a big fan of shit like that with a mixed man tag team match.
Right.
So they kind of lost me there, and then they have the women's, but the whole thing with Sammy Guevara and Chris Jericho and Darby Allin, that statement was pretty good too.
Oh, that was good. I love that. That was good.
Yeah. I can't wait for Saturday. That's gonna be fun.
Oh man, I'm gonna review that. That's like, I don't watch like shows on Tuesday, but that's gonna be another thing I gotta review. So, yay!
I'm definitely gonna watch it. I figure
I'm watching it too. It's the first one, so everybody's gotta watch it.
I'm just wondering
too. So,
what is your guys' opinion about the whole thing with your opinion on CM Punk right
I don't
now?
really care if he's on the show. Good. I just really don't care what.
Yeah, it's take it or leave it.
Yeah, if he's on the show, he's on the show. Whatever. He has to be on a separate show. So be it.
You ever heard the saying that you live long enough to be a hero? No, you can be like live long enough to be a hero, or you live long enough to be a villain. And
Yeah.
I feel like that's CM Punk.
Well,
I mean,
yeah, I could see that.
I think CM Punk just needs to go away.
Yeah, he's there. Yeah, like even if he wasn't there, I would still watch Collision. I really just don't want to go see CM Punk. Anybody that still mentions him, I just tune them out on Twitter and shit.
and I think I'm trying to remember if Soul Monster brought this up, but they were saying all the castaways are pretty much going to be on Collision, and it's pretty much true. They have Miro coming back.
Well, yeah,
And then,
Samoa Joe though. Samoa Joe's not a castaway. I know he's going to be part of Collision. He's not really a castaway.
well, and then you also have Andrade El Idolo.
Well, yeah, well, because they don't have, they can finally use him on that show. They finally have that platform that they can use him finally. Sadly, but yeah.
I mean, he's a great talent. I really enjoy.
He's good. It's just hopefully they really use him on Collision because before Collision they never used him really on TV.
Well, he had a really bad start. I mean,
He did. So hopefully this can go better for him and create some good stuff.
The one thing during Dynamite, I feel like when they had Wardlow on there, he's definitely lost his thunder since the whole All Out situation happened. He just kind of lost his thunder.
He lost his spark.
I
don't know, his energy seems different. I do agree. He seems a little bit different now.
It's just like he just lost his momentum when the whole thing where MJF doesn't even mention him at all when he wins the belt, and then he only had the TNT belt for like 1 week, then loses it, and he has it back again. But I mean, honestly, if you go between the TNT belt and the international title, to me right now, the international title seems like it's being pushed as the second.
It is the bigger mid-card belt right now.
So I feel Wardlow is just kind of like Big T says. He definitely jumped the shark big time. I hate to
what Trek said, Casey.
What?
Did you see what Trek said before Big T's comment?
About Lana is yapping on Twitter. Miro's getting push. I mean, honestly, when I first saw Miro in the WWE, I feel that Rusev could have been a world champion in the WWE.
He could have. Like,
Vince likes big sweaty guys.
Especially
No, go ahead.
I'm saying with that whole Rusev Day thing, you think he was going to, that was going to be a good push, but then that sadly ended too.
It was just they couldn't capitalize it on, and I feel like AEW is doing the same thing right now. Like he had some momentum, but then he just lost it.
Well, that's because they have too many people, but hopefully with Collision, they can balance everybody out.
And you know what? I think Saturday night's not a bad night for AEW. I mean, if you're a little older, you're most likely going to be home on Saturday night.
Well, it is summertime, so I don't really see that many people, especially on a Saturday night, especially in the summertime, staying home to watch wrestling.
I mean, like when the
I mean,
pay-per-view.
it was a different time. It was a different time, though, Casey. I mean, like again, like AEW is harping back to like Saturday night with WCW, and then it's like, okay, this is how I see AEW as a whole right now. They're trying to be WCW, but at the same time, they're trying to be ECW. They're trying to blend both of these companies
Michael?
together to be. Jesus
I'm
Christ,
sorry.
I'm talking, this fucking mongoloid comes on here. Oh, I thought I was fucking drunk. I'm too drunk to come on.
To come on here, yeah.
But anyways, the point of the matter is, Casey.
Fuck you guys.
All right, AJ, go ahead and finish.
But the point of the matter is, I fucking forgot now because of fucking Mikkel's fucking crippled ass.
Good job, Mikkel. You fucked it up again.
Hey, KT, they got me drunk. Yeah, no.
Good. Good.
What did you say?
I was
Good, you drunk.
down.
Because there were so many times where you almost pushed out me and AJ had to keep on you to drink.
Oh, I
Fuck
do have
you
some
guys.
I do have some bad news for everyone.
Who'd you kill now, Casey?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Bad news. Okay,
Oh,
Casey.
God.
Was that the bad news, Casey?
No, I mean,
Mikkel,
Mom,
Mama, you podcast, goddammit.
so what's the bad news, Casey?
all right. So I do have some serious bad news.
Okay.
AJ knows what I'm talking about. We're in the DMs talking to Tex, and
Yeah.
sadly, we're gonna have to depart friendship. And like I told Tex, is like, dude, I have a bad feeling.
Oh,
about
no.
your future.
What the heck happened?
Well, I mean,
Let me say, because you two are the one beefing over here. Okay, I came home from work, right? I'm checking their Twitter DMs, right? These two fangirls are over here fucking fighting over who's better Batman, fucking Ben Affleck or fucking Michael Keaton. And I'm over here like, these fucking fanboys are like, fanboying out about this shit. I'm just like, I like Batman in general. And then I said, you know what? Kevin Conroy is the GOAT for Batman. I'll just say that.
Well, that's your opinion.
Right.
so I told Tex, I mean, when he said that he didn't like Michael Keaton as Batman, I was like, that's it. I mean,
Oh, hi, Tex. Hi. He's in the chat.
Because he likes Michael Keaton as Michael Keaton that played Batman. Is that what I'm hearing?
That was it. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. He's done. Fucking done.
Hey, Casey, my pick for Batman. So am I off the show?
What? Who's your Batman?
Michael Keaton.
Oh no! I'm saying.
I know.
I'm saying that he doesn't like Michael Keaton as Batman.
Oh, okay.
That's why.
Oh, okay.
So they put beef on the grill.
So that's why he's done. I mean, and then right after that, I told him, it was like, you know what, Tex, I hate to say this, but I have a bad feeling about your near future. So, I mean,
this is in the chat.
Fuck you.
Text.
and Tex wanted me to give him a time frame. I mean, hold on, why would I give you a time frame? I mean, the whole point for me is to enjoy watching you waiting until you're impending doom. So,
well, I guess you just did, Casey. I understand what you're doing, but you didn't go as savage as I did, like I did on Compton.
Oh, what'd you do, AJ?
Oh, come on, you guys know the video.
Yeah.
Yeah, AJ went savage on Compton.
That's AJ. I seen the tension build up, so I'm not shocked.
Gosh,
Oh,
I
God.
didn't want to go there, but Compton, it was just there was a little tension, but I was okay for him to come on. But there was some stuff we had to talk about, and AJ just pretty much told him everything. And I'm like, all right, I don't have to say anything. So
AJ just said it all. Yeah.
yeah. Uh-oh. We got
What's
someone.
uh-oh? What is up? Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Hey, AJ, my true friend on this podcast. I'm like, Casey,
How you doing, buddy? No, you. Let me tell you this, Tex. You will be always. Let me tell you. Hold on, Tex. You'll always be welcome here. Don't ignore Casey and his Montgomery Burns. Just remember, Nitro's my shirt.
No. Well, I had to come on here and clarify because Casey wants to do fake news.
Oh,
right.
Nobody fired from this show. I retired and let y'all do your thing and just come on to hang out sporadically. What Casey actually said in the DMs, as he wants to point out, Mr. Fake News, is he had taken friendship because me not being a Keaton fan was the straw that broke the camel's back. Now, am I lying about any of that? Casey is wrong.
Or AJ.
No, I thought that's how I said it. I didn't say you were fired on here. I said we're done.
That's fine. I mean, see, you can just go review movies with your homeless gimp buddy that you do terrible things to. And while Frank and myself and Cora and Jeremy over on The Harsh Truth, a real movie YouTube channel who know things, will be doing actual stuff. You know, you can over here and have your retard session that you've been having. That's cool. You know, that's fine. You do your thing.
Come on, Ted.
So
See,
I just, you know, you want to, Casey, you don't, I don't like to throw too many stones, but those who live in glass houses probably shouldn't do that. You know what I mean? So just saying, coming from a guy in a Jets jersey, you probably shouldn't talk too much. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, shit. He went there.
Well, I mean, once if the Jets start doing good with Aaron Rodgers, you can't really say much. I mean, but it is the Jets.
How many Jets games you going? How many Jets games you gonna watch this season? 2.5.
Probably zero because I guarantee you we don't get the Jets games down here. If anything,
you can watch YouTube channel to write YouTube TV.
Well, all I know is, Mr. Casey is raw. I wanted to come on here and let everybody know how Casey went heel, and he wanted to try to throw stones, and he wants to, do his whole thing. That's fine. I know AJ's put in a lot of work to do all the Nitro stuff, and Casey wants to be his idol Hulk Hogan and go heel. He can try, but it's going over like a wet fart, So
I'm telling you this, Tex. You better be checking your brake lines when you go to work.
Oh, yeah.
Come on,
Casey. At least I can bend over to get to my brake lines, unlike one of us, and we know who we are. Just saying. It's cool. Hey, you can, go ahead and predict your fake powers. It's cool. We all know that you claimed deaths of people who were going to die anyways. What was that Anne Heche woman? She was basically dead when I predict blah, 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 blah. So it's okay. Do your thing, bud. Well,
I mean, granted that, she was in a coma, and then when I told Drew, it's like, I had a bad feeling. It's like, what, you think she's going to die?
Well, I would have a bad feeling, too, if she was in a car crash and it was set on fire. I'd have a bad feeling, too. That's kind of how that works. So, but hey, whatever makes you feel good about yourself, that's fine. I mean, everybody knows that AJ Raider is the class of this show anyways.
This is true.
Casey just puts it on. Mikkel, Mikkel is here for set dressing and Make-A-Wish. That's why Mikkel's here. Let's not. So, just say it. I mean, if we're going to be honest, let's just put all the cards on the table. It's fine. I mean, if Casey wants to blow Michael Keaton's 80-year-old winger, that's cool. He can do that. I mean, Frank was thinking how even Frank's child knew that Casey was a homosexual. He was very perceptive.
Well, see, the thing is, you don't know this, but I'm trying to recruit Grim to come over here now. Because
who?
Oh no!
You're talking about Jeremy. Jeremy's not leaving the harsh truth. He's not leaving.
Oh no! No! You're not. No, over on the harsh truth, we're winners, and you're not. So I can try, but Jeremy, it ain't gonna happen, House. I mean, keep shooting.
He was on my show last night. We were playing Fortnite.
Okay, well, so was Mikkel and everybody else. What does that mean? I mean, what is that? I mean, you're the guy that has homeless Jim not spoiling movies on your YouTube channel. So,
and granted, he would talk about movies that is not part of the review too.
668. Didn't he review Harry Potter in a Creed movie review? Somehow that came into play. I still haven't quite figured that one.
No, he was talking about the Avengers. I was like,
oh, okay.
Or Spider-Man.
Either way, my point still stands. But no, I mean, Jeremy, he's harsh truth. You ain't going to get it. You can try. You can. What's that whole thing about wishing in one hand and doing something else in the other? No,
shitting in one hand and shit in the other. Case you think
right.
Up first.
No, I mean, like I said, I look forward to your movie reviews where you know nothing about the director, stars, what else they did, how it kind of reflects, how the plot, the very informative movie things that you cover over here. I can't wait to not watch those this week. So, hey, it's all good. So, much like Casey is the New York Jets of movie reviewing. They get close, but they just never get them right.
Well, hold on. The Jets actually won a Super Bowl, though.
Were you alive for it?
No.
Didn't think so. Okay. That's all I needed. That's all. No, it's all good. No, I'm over here. I was watching the Texas Rangers win the baseball game tonight, so we're going to the World Series.
Yeah.
So, all y'all can suck it. From Detroit to San Francisco, the Texas Rangers going to be winning that trophy this year. So, really, Mikkel?
Well,
hang on, Mikkel. Who do you cheer for in Major League Baseball?
Whoever's the winning team.
That's what I was about to say. Whoever's on top is that's who he's going for. That's what I figured.
That's right. He probably already has whoever, all the baseball teams.
Mikkel has the whole logo saved in his computer, so he can throw it up there at any time as a background. So like, no, I've been a fan my whole life. You got, whether it's Yankees, Red Sox, whatever it may be. So.
What those Yankees?
Michael, calm down.
We'll remember that when the Yankees.
Just to say, if the Yankees start winning, I don't want to hear you. Oh, go Yankees! I want them. Well, I don't want to hear that one, because we're gonna clip you saying that right there.
Michael,
we will hold it against you.
Michael.
Oh, hey! Before you take off, or I'm not pushing you away from here, Tex. But
come on, Casey.
Just whoosh me out the door. Why don't you?
No. But
this is great beef on the grill. I'm enjoying it. Keep going.
Yeah,
but I'm just apparently Mikkel had such a bad hangover that he wasn't going to make it tonight.
Yeah, he had a bad hangover because me and AJ continued to make him drink
as somebody who
Michael, shush, Michael.
No.
Hangovers are for pussies.
You know,
Joe's
you're
the
mad
Earnhardt Jr.
because no, Michael's mad because me and AJ.
Hold on. One at a fucking time. Go ahead, Tex.
No,
Sorry.
Joe. I was going to say hangovers are for women and like 14-year-olds. You power through. You're a man.
Right? What's a
No
hangover?
matter you. No. I don't. As somebody who is some might call a functioning alcoholic, I kind of know how to handle these things. But no, you just man up and grab that sack between your legs and deal. You just go on about your day. You know, go eat you some greasy food. You know, get you some caffeine, flush that system out. Get like one of those big Gatorades, right? Power it down, get it all down, or get you a little hair of the dog if that's a possibility. Like if you're not working that day, get you one more cold one. You know what I mean? Either way, there's no excuse for a hangover unless you've had like 2 bottles of tequila down on the coast. I don't want to hear it. You know what I mean?
Like, what's a hangover? Like, what's a hangover?
Huh?
You said what's a hangover is like?
Yeah, because I never, what's a hangover? Like, everybody's like, oh, get a hangover drink. I don't know. I never experienced one, so.
I think it's more like, I know you get a headache.
You feel sluggish.
Yeah.
Well, my cousin's a pussy, so.
See, the thing is, we can't tell the difference.
Well, it's okay. Here's my question: like, what's McKill go? Okay, it's not like you have to leave the house to go do anything, anyways, right? So why are you worried about the hangover? Just sleep it off. You know what I mean? I mean, you're not late to a meeting or something. You know what I mean? So, I mean, you know. So
just don't drink and drive your electric wheelchair.
There is one thing I do want to address, though.
I tried to get him to do that last night. It was that funny.
That would have been funny.
Okay, well, now that we've handled that, the subject matter of why Casey and I are currently in a
why the beef is on the grill.
Yes, we're having beef currently. No, we were talking about the Flash movie, and I was talking, because it comes out tomorrow, blah blah blah, whatever. I mean, if y'all heard me talk about it, I'm not excited for this movie. I think Ezra Miller's a child grooming piece of crap that doesn't deserve the role that he's gotten. But I'm still going to see it for review purposes, and because Ben Affleck, my favorite Batman, is in the film. Now, because I think Casey had posted a couple pictures, this and that, whatever. And anyways, the conversation was flowing, and Casey had said, "Well, the main reason I'm going to see it is because Keaton's Batman is back." And I said, "Well, that's the majority of people going to see this. I mean, that's one of the first things you see in the trailer. They don't show you Ezra Miller; they show you Michael Keaton because he's not a child groomer." And and that's whenever I had said, the older I get, the less I like Michael Keaton's Batman or the Burton films in general. I don't think they hold up. And, the conversation went back and forth. And that's whenever I said, I like Affleck's Batman because I'm a Dark Knight Returns Batman fan. That's my favorite version of the character. I like the older Bruce Wayne, the grumpier, the one that you saw in Batman v Superman. That to me
Batman
is the
who
most
killed Superman, by the way.
Hold on, I got a question for you, Tex. Does that
hang on.
Bruce Wayne?
So you want to talk about Batman killing people? How many people does he kill in Batman '89? Doesn't he attach a bomb to a clown and push him down a sewer drain for him to explode? You really want to go there, Casey?
Well, that's not '89. That was Batman Returns, wasn't it?
Okay.
Yeah.
He has machine guns on his Batmobile in '89, shooting them in the streets or telling me he's not hitting anybody.
Well, technically, you don't see him actually hitting anyone. He's not a really good shot, so flagrantly shooting machine guns going down the city street is okay, then. This is what you're telling me. Yeah. if no one gets hit, I don't see any problem with that.
Well, and see, technically, you're also wrong. Batman doesn't kill Superman in Batman in BVS. Doomsday does. So you're wrong on that.
Oh.
That's strike two, pal.
That's
So,
true. Damn it, you're right.
yeah. So you really want to argue this? I mean, we can go here. That's fine.
Yes, go
Well,
for it.
I
I
mean,
want to
right.
be there.
Let's have this debate.
Oh,
So,
Dave
Casey,
Rose
I'm
said
just-
Batman never killed anyone in '89. I hate to disagree with Dave.
Hey, Dave.
He killed Joker in '89.
See, okay,
How's it going, Dave?
here's this whole thing.
Okay.
Batman, this whole non-kill rule is stupid to me. Why shouldn't Batman kill? Batman has killed in comic books. Every movie he's been in, Batman has either killed somebody or been a party to somebody being killed. So this whole, because people hate Zack Snyder, that's when it became a thing. Oh, but he killed blah blah blah. So you're telling me if the Joker breaks out of Arkham and he's going to kill 1,000 people by poisoning the water supply, he shouldn't have his neck snapped? Anybody can answer. Go ahead,
I'm
Casey.
just listening. I'm listening to you guys' debates.
I
Go
mean,
for it.
I've never
Well,
seen the big deal about it. I mean, and if it's like Superman killing people, then that's one thing because while Batman's, I guess he's supposed to be the vigilante. So,
Well, here's the thing, and I don't really blame this on comic books. I blame this more on society as a whole, because comics is just like a lot of things in media. It mirrors or it can reflect what society has at that time. And BVS came out in 2016 when things really started. Like that's when you really started to see a lot of the wokeness and the specification really come out and everything, right? And they see this brutal version of Batman, which he's intended to be, because like I said earlier, this is the Dark Knight Returns Batman. This is a grizzled veteran. He's been through everything. He's had his Robin killed by Joker and Harley Quinn. This is not the idealistic young version of Bruce Wayne. You know, this is the elder Batman. And when you look at the BVS film, it obviously plays off of Man of Steel. I don't know if you remember the movie or not, but Superman comes to Earth, the whole Zod plot, terraforming, yada, yada, the whole thing. Well, from the human perspective, if you watch at the beginning of BVS, you see Bruce Wayne saving people, watching Superman and Zod battle it out as Metropolis is being destroyed. Right. So you take into account Batman, vengeful, Robin killed, all of the backstory, everything else. He has quit being Batman. He sees this alien from another planet come here and just tearing up our home. People dying, everything else. How would you react? If you were in his position, would you not act the same way?
true. I can't argue with
You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you had the means of Bruce Wayne, the means of Batman, the skill, everything that it takes to actually be a posable threat, would you not want to try to, as he says in that film, if this is even a 1% chance, we have to act because of what he saw. Now, he didn't know the whole story. He didn't know who Superman was. This is his introduction to us. That was the point that Zack Snyder was laying out. Now, the fan base, they didn't let it go over because they're petulant children and it's not the way they want it to be. It's not how Marvel laid out the Avengers. And DC's always had a bias. That's a whole nother podcast. But this is the point of it. You see, go ahead.
I was going to say, Big T says that in the Ben Affleck one that he killed over 25 men or criminals. With
Okay, shouldn't criminals die?
What?
Shouldn't a criminal be killed?
Yeah.
Shouldn't they be brought to justice, though?
See, this is where the film is brilliant because it shows your ideals, how you react to it. Do you identify with Superman, who is truth, justice, and the American way? do you identify with Batman in the film who sees the problem of the law? He was marking, okay, something like Big T was talking about here, like in the beginning of the film, when Batman is fighting criminals, he has like a batarang it's basically like a batarang branding iron. It's really cool. Like when he fights a criminal, he brands the
that's
bat
right.
symbol on their body. And once they go to jail, criminals do what they do. You can't blame Batman for a criminal being killed in prison. That's not his fault. If he's not directly killing them, then that's you can't persecute him for that. But like I said, this is a veteran Batman. He's been through decades of this. He's had his proteges be killed. He's seen Gotham for what it is, very much like a Rorschach in Watchmen. He knows at this point, from his vantage, that's why he stopped, because it never ends. He spent 20 years in Gotham, and what did he do? He even says that to Alfred in Batman v Superman. So, ideals are great, but do they work in the real world? Superman could stop Lex Luthor, and then, he finagles his way out, and then 6 months later, he tries to kill Metropolis again. What good is that doing? This whole "I won't kill you, but I don't have to save you" nonsense. That's my biggest flaw with Batman is he's putting his own ideals above everything else. Sometimes the good is to kill the criminal. Should we not execute those ones that want to kill us? You know what I'm saying?
We guys, Dave.
I
wants
agree
to join.
100%. I agree 100% with you, Tex. Like, yeah, any criminal should be killed, regardless. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, this is what I'm saying. I'm not saying if you go steal a loaf of bread, you should have your head cut off. That's not what I'm saying. But if we've locked you up 5 times and you've gone to Arkham and you broke out, and every time you escape, you're going to poison the water supply, blow up a hospital, do whatever it is, it's only justified that we snap your neck in public, buddy. That's the only way to deal with that. What's good for the many is better than the good for the one, right? So, those 1,000 people that died, don't you think they would want Joker or Two-Face or whoever it is to be murdered, to be killed? Because, see, here's the thing. There's a difference in killing and murder. Murder is actually the bad part. If you're killing, it can be justified. There's no such thing as justified murder. There's a justifiable homicide or killing. 2 different words, 2 different meanings. Either way, the point of it is Ben Affleck's Batman. He saw it for what it was, and once he sees, okay, flash forward to the end of the Superman fight, the whole save Martha scene. Yes, I know it's cheesy, but I think it's effective. Obviously, both of their mothers are named Martha. Batman starts, well, why did you say that?
That was
Why
pretty
did you
stupid,
say that?
though.
It's stupid if you don't think about it a little bit deeper. You had the same response the generic audience did because they didn't take the time to look into it.
Well, hold on. They're like, "Oh my God, your mom's named Martha too. Like, we need to join forces now." I'm like, that makes the dumbest sense right there.
Well, you obviously missed the point of Lois Lane being there. Early in the film, you see Batman going to his parents' grave, the whole Martha plot. This was laid out early in the film. You have to pay attention to every step going through. This isn't some generic Marvel film that you don't have to think about. BVS actually has layers to it. It's not turn your brain off popcorn movie. Hell, the ultimate cut, which is the superior cut, and I do recommend, by the way, is like 3.5 hours, I believe. I haven't watched it in a while. But the BVS plot is more complex than a lot of other superhero films. And most people they don't like Zack Snyder. I don't know why. The man makes great movies. But it is what it is. Now, people like what they like, whatever.
Well, I think we're going to have to bring in the ringer because I
Please.
can't. bring
Can't defend yourself, no, Casey.
yeah, I can't defend myself.
He needs someone to talk for him.
So
We'll
I had to
bring in your your replacement then, because obviously need it. So,
yeah, I'm trying to do it. God dang phone.
You know, I find it funny more that fucking Tex did the reverse Savage Slaughter on Casey like I did Compton. Good job though, Tex. I mean, you put him in his place. You shut him up. Good job, buddy.
I'm
I'm not
saying
saying
that.
I'm justifying a point here. That's all.
I know.
I'm presenting a case. That's literally all I'm doing.
I know.
So,
I know.
Believe
I'm
it or
not
not,
saying
it's
that.
your prerogative, your decision.
I'm not saying the Ben Affleck movie was bad. I'm just I prefer the '89 Batman. But
Well, that's cool. I'm glad that if that's your Batman, hey, that's cool. I mean, there's a Batman for everybody, from Adam West to what's the guy that did the Brave the Bold? Diedrich something, I forget his last name. Kevin Conroy. No, if you go watch the Brave and the Bold cartoon, the guy that voiced him was Diedrich something. I forget his last name. He was the guy that played Jethro on Beverly Hillbillies. Anyway, there's 1,000 different Batman out there. We all have our Batman. Batman
just like
he belongs to all of us.
Right, just like Kevin Conroy is my Batman.
Right, Kevin Conroy. Anytime if I'm reading a comic book, I hear his voice.
Exactly.
That's the voice that I hear in my head.
When I think the voice of Batman, I think Kevin Conroy.
100%. I mean, he's voiced Batman for 30 years. I mean, God rest his soul, now he's dead.
Right.
But, no, Kevin Conroy will forever be loved. I mean, I can't think of a bad thing that he ever did to anybody.
No. He's up there in heaven. You know that. He's a good guy.
He found his niche. Hell, he got to voice one character, and of course he did other work. But he'll forever be known as Batman. I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman. I mean, I can't do a Conroy impression, but you know what I'm saying.
Yep.
It's just like I said,
agree.
for live action Batman, I would argue Affleck's version is the best because it's the most comic accurate to its source. If you look at Keaton's, that's not comic accurate. That's a Burton-based Batman. That Batman and Returns are Burton's world films, especially Returns. They're not. That's not a comic Batman.
Well, can we agree on one thing, you guys? That fucking Robert Patterson's Batman is the fucking worst.
Robert Pattinson sucks. He can go jump on the lake for all I can.
No. I hate to say it, either George Clooney or...
No. I will debate you about that. No, I will take Val Kilmer or George Clooney over fucking Robert Pattinson. Are you kidding me?
Yes,
I will take Val Kilmer over Clooney or Pattinson. If you were to show me Clooney or Pattinson, I'll take the gun and I'll just blow my head off.
I think Clooney is a better Bruce Wayne, but I think Val Kilmer is horrible all the way around.
No, I think Clooney was a better Bruce Wayne because he played. Well, let's not forget Bruce Wayne is the character. He's not the real. The real guy is Batman. Bruce Wayne is the real mask. He's the facade. He's everything else. I liked Val Kilmer's Batman more than I did Clooney's, just for those god awful bat nipples alone. Joel Schumacher's in hell right now for bat nipples, and I believe that 100%. There's no way around it.
I'm still waiting for that director's cut.
You couldn't pay. Like I said, the Schumacher cut of Batman Forever, that's been talked about for 20 years.
See?
This is not a new rumor. This is. Would I watch it if it came out? Sure. Go ahead, Casey.
I hate to cut you off, Tex, but I'm going to have to totally agree with Frank on this one. That I felt the Patterson version of Batman was more like the grounded Detective Batman. I really actually
Okay,
like
if you
that.
want to see grounded,
Of course you
okay,
would.
why do you want to see another grounded Batman when Christopher Nolan already perfected it with Christian Bale?
This
I
is
think
true.
Nolan was pretty good movies. I mean,
The
I
Matt Reeves
prefer
Batman is nothing but watered down Christopher Nolan film. Is all that it is.
Hmm.
He's got a point, Casey.
He
They
does.
no,
turned
I
the Riddler
agree, but
into Antifa. That's what they did with Riddler. Congratulations.
Hey, yo, guy, I'm gonna go.
Okay,
Okay.
bye.
Adios.
Bye. Okay, goodbye.
But you see, but
Hey, you guys!
You know, I know that the Batman
you
Pattinson film made like $1 billion, whatever. That's fine,
Right.
whatever. I don't care. I watch a lot of movies, and as Joe Bob says, the only sin a movie can ever commit is being boring. And The Batman is one of the most boring films I've ever seen.
Yes.
I
Yes.
don't need 3 hours of detective mode Batman.
No.
You can have a little bit because that's part of the character, but not 3 hours long.
No. That was.
I mean, that's
And
why they say
don't-
that Batman is the world's greatest detective. So that's why I
Right.
kind
So
of
if
like
he's
it.
like, oh.
right, but if he's the world's greatest detective, why do we need 3 hours? of it?
Yeah.
He should be able. He should be able to figure it out sooner than that. I don't
I thought
understand.
it was a good movie. I mean, is it better
That's
than
great.
the Nolan movie?
I'm glad that you like it. I'm not here to tell you what to like. I'm never going to do that. That is none of my business to tell you what to
Well,
like. Now, if you
You
want to
did
have a
tell me
debate about
that
it,
when I hate. You did tell me I was gonna hate the Flash movie, so I was like,
and
I
I
got a
also
bad
told
feeling.
you, I'm coming at this from a very biased perspective. Did I not?
I don't know.
I did say that. Go back. It's in the DMs. That's my whole point. I'm coming at this from a very biased perspective, and I make no bones about it. I spoke very adamantly about this Ezra Miller child groomer piece of crap. I
Oh,
can't
fuck
wait to
him.
roast this movie.
Fuck
Right.
that dude.
Yeah, I mean, as far as Michael Keaton's Batman involvement in this film, they should have had Thomas Wayne as Batman in this film. Why do Flashpoint? They have Jeffrey Dean Morgan. This dude he's a stupid woke liberal, but he's a great actor from Negan. He's in Supernatural. He's in The Boys now. They had him as Thomas Wayne in BVS, as Batman's daddy that was killed. Why in the hell did they not do the Thomas Wayne version of Batman instead of Michael Keaton? That is stupid. That is the worst thing they could have done.
Oh, can I ask you a question, Tex? Because I know you said you like the older Bruce Wayne. Now, do you like the Batman Begins cartoon? Because when Bruce Wayne's the older version, do you like him as
Batman Beyond?
Yeah, Batman Beyond. Sorry.
I didn't watch a lot of Batman Beyond. Whenever that came out, like early 2000s, I want to say, was it 97? Wait, hang on. I'm thinking of the I'm thinking of the Justice League cartoons in the early 2000s.
Because Batman the Animated Series came out in 92, 93, and then
it ran
all the way
seasons,
to 90. No, only one season, I believe.
No, there was multiple seasons. Either way, I know what you're talking about. I didn't watch a lot of Batman Beyond. I saw the movie, the Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker. I saw some of it, but I don't know a lot about Batman Beyond. At that point, I don't know. For some reason, it never hit me. The particular version of Batman I'm talking about is Dark Knight Returns. It's the older Bruce Wayne. He's not as old as he is in Batman Beyond. He's like 45 to 50, but he looks older because of the life that he's lived. Is basically it.
Gotcha.
So I got the ringer in now. So after so welcome, Divius Dave Rose. What's up, bro?
Hey guys, I'm not sure if it's my connection.
Yo.
I'm hearing you guys a bit garbled, but maybe you guys are hearing the same from me. I don't know.
No,
you're fine. Sound fine, man.
Sound fine.
I don't
How's
know.
it
This
going,
link
Dave?
was taking forever to load. Twitter's not loading for me for some reason.
I sent you them.
What's that?
I sent you the link.
Yeah, I don't know, but the thing is though, like I'm getting issues with my internet. Things aren't loading as quick as they should. Some, like Twitter's not loading at all.
Oh,
I don't know. Again,
must be
if
that
it's
Canadian internet.
'cause
Oh,
again, I don't hear you guys very well. You're garbled, but maybe you hear me okay.
Yeah, we can hear you
yeah,
just fine.
just fine.
So much to discuss. Let's talk about the Batman stuff first, because it is all over the place. But fuck this! I wish I'd been able to call in sooner. Like Casey, you gotta figure out how to do that quick, or
I'm
move to
sorry.
something better like your own Discord. But regardless, the thing is with Batman, Tex, is that Batman, according to the comics, the lore is that he's got two moral codes that he sticks by: no guns and no killing. What I would have to say, I'd have to adjust not anybody, no killing humans. Okay, metas, which are superheroes for those that don't know the term from DC, Amazons, Atlanteans, other aliens,
Martians, all the other.
That's fair game. Now you say Batman should be able to kill because look at the stuff he's excused with the Joker, mass killings, and he still thinks it's okay to put him back in jail. That is the fault. That is the a character fault that actually I think adds to the character, is that he is stuck so much in his ways that even when he has the ability to kill somebody who, like the Joker, who's just killed thousands of people or more, that he chooses still not to, and that's a character fault. I think it adds again to saying that Batman is not 100% pure, whatever, is that he's got that fault, and that fault is refusing to kill when it could save thousands more. It shows that he's stuck in a psychosis, and that those sorts of things he's not willing to do, but that's not necessarily a good thing, so it has to be viewed from other sides, but I think it adds to the character.
Honestly, I don't really.
Well, hang on, Casey. Hang on. How familiar are you with the character Red Hood, Jason Todd?
Not recent stuff, but I know the origin. I've read a few things. I've seen the Batman animated
Under the Red Hood. Yes.
Yeah, but
one of the greatest animated movies.
Yeah.
So the Red Hood is my favorite DC character. Individual, if I had to pick one, that's my guy. And what he's basically the Batman without that moral hang-up.
That faulty moral code.
Right. He's the Batman he has every bit of Bruce Wayne's Batman skill. He just doesn't have that linchpin that keeps him from pulling the trigger. And to me, in my ideals, I believe it's justified. Because if Two-Face has nuclear bombs strapped to Gotham Central, and if blah, blah, blah doesn't happen, he's going to pull a trigger, yeah, you need to kill that guy. But I find it very hypocritical for somebody like a Batman Bruce Wayne to, use the famous line from Batman Begins when he's in the train with Ra's al Ghul. I don't have to kill you, but I don't have to save you. To me, that even when I saw Batman Begins, that line perplexed me because it's like, oh well, I want to kill you, but here's just a way of you dying without me getting blood on my hands. To me, that's very hypocritical, and I have an issue with that. I mean, does that make any sense?
I don't know. I still think that applies to that faulty moral character aspect of him, is that I'm not going to kill you, but I don't have to save you, and it could be looked at as admirable and altruistic, but it could also be viewed as something that will further cause problems, and he's stuck mentally on a moral code that he considers okay, but sort of excludes the possibility outside that. It shows that Batman is flawed. and he, very much like, I guess, like the Joker, is that Bruce Wayne is his actual um, character. What's the term?
It's actual mask. Bruce Wayne is the mask. Yes, I
Yes,
agree.
it's just like
Yes.
Bruce Wayne's the mask. Batman is like
Right.
the child who witnessed his parents die. That kid died. Like, and it was
Right.
sort of explained a little bit in the Batman Begins movie, is where the attorney, assistant attorney, she's like, oh no, he tells her, like, or was it she told him, whatever.
Oh, yeah, I can't
You
remember.
you
I know you're talking about.
that guy
Oh,
that left here,
Rachel
he
Dawes.
never came
Rachel
back.
Dawes.
But
Right.
yeah, so, well, okay, but I again, I still think that he should be sticking to that moral code, whether or not people want to view it as faulty or altruistic. I still think that is, because again, that's what the comic says. That defines it. Now, if something happens and you get an Elseworlds tale, an alternate storyline, he's going to deviate from that. And you've got Thomas Wayne, who was supposed to be this. Well, I'm sure you know this, but the story was not have Keaton. You were going to have a character that they cast a big name for just a small part in that movie, specifically because they were going to take this side road of, which is story from the comic books called Flashpoint, where it goes through an alternate reality and stuff. Flash saves all these things, but the Batman in that universe is his father witnessed his son get gunned down, and his wife becomes the Joker. So that was the initial plan, and they threw it away. They wanted to make the DC universe and focus it on women. They completed for the audience. They completed a Batgirl movie, the entire movie, everything, big budget. It was going to be for theaters. They locked it up into a vault.
I saw the stills.
It looked terrible. And this Latina-looking Supergirl, who's not Supergirl in my opinion, she was going to have her own sort of standalone movie. So there's going to be aspects of those two movies in this, because they were supposed to lead from this movie into the Batgirl and Supergirl universes. So there's been multiple cuts on this movie. It cost $800 million. And it's going to have to at least make that money back to not lose any money, which is looking extremely doubtful. Even if it makes $1 billion, that's a $200 million profit of a $600 million movie, or $800 million movie, sir.
Luckily, which I have my worries about James Gunn. I don't like everything that he's done, but I'm hopeful. The entire DC universe, basically, this movie means nothing. Aquaman 2 means nothing. Blue Beetle may or may not mean anything. I know James Gunn recently said Blue Beetle is the start of the DCU, not the DCEU, which it has been. But I hope to God that Ezra Miller is not recast in this new universe. I don't want him anywhere near anything, because he's one of these Hollywood weirdos that's just a vile, disgusting creature and needs to go away. But the canceled Batgirl movie that you referred to, they I'm sure you've seen the stills that I'm about to talk about. I think you just mentioned it. I didn't hear everything, but they showed some stills of the costumes alone, and Keaton's Batman suit looked like it was like one of those deluxe costumes that you buy from Spirit Halloween. It looked cheap. It looked bad.
And I would also say that it looked like he had dad bod boobs.
Yes, it was. It wasn't like the armor from '89. It was like a one-piece latex suit that looked like that suit. It was like crunchy in the middle, and I'm sure they had CGI effects to do to it. They always do, but it just looked odd. But I mean, I know why they brought back Keaton and didn't use Thomas Wayne in this film, because Michael Keaton would sell. I get it. It's all about
they thought it was going to bring in the numbers, because they are cogent of their audience being very anti-agenda. So like the woke shit that they are trying to force on people, They're trying to get around it, and they're trying to, again, they've been cutting scenes and shit from this movie to address what would be a backlash.
Right. I mean, they had to match. I mean, there's a reason why you haven't seen Ezra Miller doing press or interviews for this film, because they want to keep him as hidden as much as humanly possible, because he's a disaster waiting to happen. I mean, go look at him, how he groomed a 12-year-old, physically assaulted a woman in public for no reason, broke into somebody's home, walked into their bedroom. This dude needs to be locked away and forgotten about. But unfortunately, they have 2 of him in their movie. I don't know why they ever chose that when they could have used the Reverse Flash, any other Flash villain besides another version of Barry. It would have made sense. But it's done as done. I don't think the Flash is going to do well. I think once people start to see it, and I have been spoiled, I know exactly what happens. I'm not looking forward to this. I'm not going to say what happens because I'm not going to spoil for anyone else. But I think there's going to be a backlash.
The amount of CGI that I've seen in that
it looks bad.
To audiences, because if you remember the first Final Fantasy CGI movie, The Spirits Within, I believe, it was early CGI, I guess. It was, I mean, it took a lot of power to produce that, computer-wise, but that still looks better. The stuff from Starship Troopers, the CGI from Starship Troopers, still looks 1,000 times better than what you're going to see in this movie. Especially the callbacks to alternate universes. I'm sure that you've seen those screenshots.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Holy crap!
Fans of the older DC movies are
don't spoil anything for them for the ones that don't already know. But yeah, now this stuff is PlayStation 2 levels graphics bad case. To give you an example, I'm not, and like I said, I don't want to skew your view. If you love this movie, I want you to enjoy it. I'm not going to tell you what to like, dislike, anything in the middle. But just know what you're walking into. You know?
Well, the only thing I don't like is having that one dude playing Flash, because the whole, I'm shocked they even used him still. Darn.
The reason why they used him is because there's so much money in the hole for this that they didn't have a choice. They had to. Their only 2 choices were to write this movie off, but they couldn't write off Flash movie. They wrote off the Batgirl movie that Dave was talking about a minute ago for like 80-something million, or I can't remember the exact amount. It was under 100, but I can't remember the exact amount. This movie, the reported budget from what I've seen is around 2.5 to 300 million. They can't just write that much money off.
Oh no!
Plus, they've gone through like 5 or 6 directors just trying to get this thing made. They have offered this movie they offered this movie to Sam Raimi, the guy that did the Evil Dead and the newest Doctor Strange movie. I mean, everybody had a chance at this film. This is why this film means nothing. Aquaman 2 means nothing. We'll get to see what Blue Beetle 2 really means in the end. Because, I mean, as James Gunn just said, the new start of the new DCU is the newest Superman film that he's going to direct. So, it is what it is.
It's pointless?
It is, yes. Every bit of this movie is pointless. Nothing that you're going to see in this film is going to. It may or it may not affect the new universe going into it. If fans see this film and they like something enough, DC may decide to keep it around for the new universe. Or they may just say, you know what, this was a nice send-off, but adios, we're out of here. We're starting fresh, which that's what they should do. Unfortunate, but it is what it is.
I believe they are starting fresh. I don't think
I hope so.
Anything is going to be carried over, because James Gunn now has his mitts on the DC universe. And I believe he's starting things off with a movie called Superman Legacy. But
Superman Legacy, Creature Commandos. I mean, he announced the whole first phase of Gods and Monsters. He announced like 10 projects in the end of July or the end of January. Excuse me. He released the whole thing.
Well, I mean, DC fucked it up when they were trying to hotshot it, go straight into Justice League. I mean, even though the Justice League.
Yeah, I do
don't
want
buy
to talk
that.
about that. That was going to be the next thing I wanted to talk about.
Go ahead, Dick.
When I was a kid, DC was the thing. I watched, the reruns of Super Friends. Then, also they had superpowers at that time as well, which is rehash old stuff, anyways. But still, they had the figures that came out around then. You had these videos that you could, video cassette tapes you could rent that had a compilation of cartoons of Batman, Superman, the Justice League, and so forth. Like DC was like the Fleischer films. I remember, or Fleischer films. I remember watching those on TV and such, and I love that style of animation. I loved the way that they portrayed Superman, because Clark Kent is a lot less dorky in the more earlier comics and such, and obviously portrayals like in Superman the animated series and so forth. But it was just it also fit with the comics. So I've always really liked DC because, as an adult, you see that their stories are a lot more adult themed than, say, Marvel. And I love Marvel, at least a lot of stuff. But DC, I think, really insulted people like me and just regular people by trying to jumpstart and leapfrog over Marvel by doing what they did with their Batman versus Superman and the Man of Steel. I think their movies, like they hit some good tunes and they really got a good pace going. But they mishandled and fumbled that entire franchise from the beginning. And Zack Snyder actually, I think, did an amazing job with the Justice League movie. But
I love the Snyder cut. I've seen it.
I don't even consider the other cut as existing.
No, the Justice League, as it's referred to, because of Joss Whedon, that should be burned and erased as just for the whole CGI mustache removal on Superman.
Well, no, hold on. I watched that movie, and the next day I could not remember a damn thing about it. And I watched it back.
Yeah.
And I still, to this day, can't remember anything about that. Maybe my mind is just trying to exclude it from it. But I remember watching the Zack Snyder version, and it's just like, wow, this is what it was supposed to be. And oh my God, it was like, what, 2 hours, close to 3 hours, I think?
That was 4 hours.
How long? The Snyder cut is over 4 hours long.
First of all, it didn't feel that way to me. Second of all, I was engrossed in the movie, and boo-hoo, you don't like 4 hours? Well, it's called an intermission. We used to have those back in the day.
How many people stream a whole Netflix season the day it comes out? And
exactly. On the couch for fucking 12 hours?
Right.
Oh,
How many people play a new video game the entire day that it comes out? But you can't watch a movie for 4 hours. You're a pussy. Go away. It's stupid.
It's like when Tiger King comes on.
I want to add one thing and then let Tex fucking respond. But okay, so obviously the way that they handled this stuff, but we've got their attempt to jumpstart things by saying, let's just throw a bunch of different stories together, cobble them up, and just run with that. So the Doomsday thing needed to be saved separately. You could have reanimated Zod and done things different, but Doomsday should not have been involved. Never liked the portrayal of Lex Luthor ever. That little shit, whatever. I think
Jesse Eisenberg or something.
Yeah. The death. Well, obviously, Death in Return. I didn't think they handled properly. Could have been done separately. There was one more thing that I wanted to mention quickly. But just the way, Batman v Superman, that was basically the Dark Knight Returns for people who
Yes.
aren't aware of that comic. And it's a brilliant comic. And even that, I was saying in the chat earlier, is that Batman doesn't kill. He had the ability, because he tells Superman at the end, he says,
I want you to
I could
remember.
have killed you. I could have killed you, but I did not. And then he set it up so well that, well, I don't want to ruin it for people. I want to try to encourage them to actually buy that, go to the library if you want to buy it, but just read that.
If you haven't read The Dark Knight Returns, go buy it tomorrow. The artwork is
certainly is worth
the
buying.
artwork is not the greatest. It's kind of hard to look at it.
It's gritty.
Frank Miller, I don't know.
He's not the best artist at all.
No, the story itself is worth the price of admission. It's, in my opinion, and in many others, The Dark Knight Returns is the greatest Batman story ever told.
And that is more so what they've based Batman on since then. So Burton's
including
Batman,
the Dark Knight trilogy.
Well, Burton's Batman has that aspect to him. He has that Dark Knight Return, because again, it went from the last known video occurrence of Batman, which was Adam West, or the cartoons, which was still somewhat cheery, but this went dark. Burton, again, Dark Knight Returns was 86 or 87, I think.
87, I believe.
Regardless, as that was when things went darker, and it also made more sense for the character, who was darker back in the day. But then they sort of glammed it up because of kids and so forth and so on. So,
well, in the day, they also had the Comics Code of America. They couldn't be dark and gritty. It was a stupid communistic style. Like Batman and Robin couldn't even hit anybody. Like they had to swing in on the ropes and knock the bad guy over. It was a weird time in comics. I don't understand it. But you do have points that I agree with. I do think Doomsday should have been saved. Doomsday could have been 2 movies in and of itself, facing the entire Justice League.
But the Dark Knight Returns, again, Batman versus Superman, is that when this could have happened later on, because in the story, people, in the comic book, this happens in the future because you were saying Batman had, in whatever movie, I think it was BVS, Batman had stopped crime fighting for like 20, 25 years, said, why continue and stuff? So in the Dark Knight Returns, Bruce Wayne's living his own fucking life. He's racing cars and shit in his old age. And
he's looking for a thrill.
The opportunity for him to retake the mantle. And that could have been told separate. But they chose to, again, force that into the second movie. And then there was other stories from the third movie that were sort of put together and cobbled and such. And I think it was cheaply done because those stories deserve so much more. And again, this was clearly an attempt to try to leapfrog Marvel and try to tell as many of their best stories as possible, but not put in the time to establish the characters to make it better.
I mean, if they would brought in like they kind of did. They brought the Superman from the before Superman v Batman, but I mean, we just got off on Nolan Batman, and they could have continued that with the Nolan.
Christian Bale's Batman doesn't fit in a world of superheroes. It doesn't.
Well, they were actually initially talking. They were talking about, because at that same time when that series was ending, the Superman Returns, I believe it was called, came out with Brandon Routh, who I thought was perfect for the fucking role. But
he was a good Christopher Reeve.
What's that?
Brandon Routh was the perfect replacement for Christopher Reeve for that version of Superman.
For that type of Superman. And if you remember in that Will Smith movie with the zombies and shit,
I Am Legend had the
one of the streets
logo with Batman
for the movie Batman versus Superman, which was supposed to be that movie. So they were playing around a little bit. But
They tried for years to get them together. There's even a script out. I forget the name of it. It's Batman and Superman something. But basically, the plot of it is um, the Joker kills. Bruce Wayne's going to get married. He stopped being Batman, but the Joker kills his wife, and then like Batman suits back up, and Superman intervenes, and Lex Luthor's involved, and it didn't sound like the script's online if you want to read it. I forget they titled it, but they tried to get Batman and Superman in the same movie together for a long time, even going back to Batman and Robin, where George Clooney Batman says this is why Superman works so low. You know, this was not the first time, but to argue the point that you bring up about DC jumping the gun, I don't think they did. Because if DC had just said, okay, we're going to make a Batman, Aquaman, Superman, a Wonder Woman, and a Green Lantern movie, then we're going to make a Justice League. What is the critics and the fans going to say? Oh, well, you're just doing what Marvel's doing. No matter what DC did, if they waited or if they jumped the gun, as y'all say, they were going to get criticized for it because Marvel's the golden child. They're owned by Disney. The critics love them. They push agendas. They have representation. They do all the things. Disney Marvel can do no wrong. Their movies are formulaic. They have no stakes.
They can do wrong, and people are not liking.
They can now during Phase 4, but not at that point in time. But DC, no matter what they do, their movies are always have been the redheaded stepchild. And when Zack Snyder came in and did Man of Steel, I've never been a huge Superman fan until I saw Man of Steel. I know everything about Superman. I've seen everything Superman's ever been in, but he's not even in probably my top 5.
So you agree with how what's his dad's name in the guy played by Kevin Costner, Pa Kent.
Oh, Kevin Costner.
You think Pa Kent's death there in that movie was okay, considering that's not really Pa Kent?
I remember watching that in the theater, and I know it's stupid how he dies. Clark could have zoomed over there, caught him, and nobody would have seen anything. But if you put yourself in the moment, I mean, think about the speech that Kevin Costner is giving, Superman. I mean, God basically is sitting in front of him. Just imagine trying to deal with that. I understand why he said no, but I think they did it the way that they did because they wanted the crowd to feel it. Knowing he could have been saved, everybody could have went home fine. But his father loved him so much, he was willing to make the sacrifice, much like Jor-El did. His blood father made the sacrifice to send him there. His earth father didn't want him to be exposed and outed, so he sacrificed his life. Did he die stupidly? Yes. But the point of the sacrifice, I think, justifies it. I think it's impactful because even somebody who's as jaded as myself when it comes to emotional things, even I felt that death. I thought it worked. I would defend that.
Well, Big T wants to ask you, both you and Dave, how would you guys fix the DC Universe problem?
I'd restore the Snyderverse.
I agree.
It's as simple as that. They had a winning, again, regardless of how they fucked around and did it cheap, what they did is they established characters. So Henry Cavill, that's Superman. Ben Affleck, that's Batman. Gal Gadot, that's fucking Wonder Woman. They established that. When people, especially younger people, would think Superman, they would know it was Henry Cavill. If they had just continued with that, they didn't need to break away, because this is a problem with DC and anybody that owns a DC product is they're constantly restarting shit. They don't have the fucking foresight like Marvel does, where they say, how about on TV? How about 2 years down the road? How about this? So you've got Marvel, who are producing things on Netflix, obviously now to Disney and stuff, but they're series that are tied in and tie through movies and other series and stuff. So again, you had Punisher, Daredevil, Jessica Jones, then you had Defenders, where all these guys were combining. You had Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which, again, repercussions from there were felt in the movies and other series. You had this vision that it could be an all enticing and inclusive universe that would cover all these different levels of media, and there'd be a universal knowledge of that universe. Now, meanwhile, you've got DC with the movies, and then they do Wonder Woman 84. So what is that, a reboot or a re-envisioning? Then you've got
Wonder Woman 84 was supposed to be a direct
not my
sequel,
run
but
yet. I'm going to tire myself out
Oh,
so that you guys can respond without me interrupting. But
go ahead.
then you've got what's on the CW or the WB. You got these different shows that will start. Gotham Knights, what the fuck? But from Supergirl, that shitty show that wants to reimagine things yet again, you've got fucking Lois and Clark, which is doing quite well. They're doing very well considering their limited budget.
It's actually not a
I'm
bad
not a
show.
fan of a fucking 5 o'clock Shadow Superman, but whatever. But it also goes back to Lois and Clark in the 90s and stuff, which, despite its limited budget, worked on its own. I'm still a fan to this day of the Flash TV series. That was an amazing fucking TV series. So there's stuff that can be done with limited money, but without keeping it fucking, I guess, centralized. You have all these different versions that are popping out. You had Green Arrow and that universe that, you had fucking was it Smallville? You also had Green Arrow, that universe that spilled out from there, but it doesn't necessarily connect unless they do an episode where they go into crisis style stories. So that's what I've never really liked when it came to how they've handled this on media, is that it's not interconnected. It's all standalone and it looks so different from each other, and there's no cooperation, unlike Marvel, where everything is basically controlled and centralized with one vision. Now I'm done.
Well, Casey, you're on social media, so I'm sure you've seen hashtag restore the Snyderverse. I mean, think about it. For 4 years, when the fans were told, no, it doesn't exist. No, we're not bringing it back. No, that cut's not real. No, we're not going to do this. Fans persisted. Restore the Snyderverse. Restore the Snyderverse. Every Sunday for years, Restore the Snyderverse was trending in the top 5 on Twitter because so many people were reaching out, telling Warner Brothers, this is what we want. We will pay you money for this. But they kept pumping out crap nobody wanted. It was stupid. I love the Snyderverse. There's only 1 or 2 films within the Snyderverse era that I'm not a fan of. I'm not crazy about Wonder Woman 84. I thought Wonder Woman, the original, was good. I mean, it took place in World War I and everything else. Shazam, I don't really care. Mm-hmm. But the only answer now is to blow it all up and restart again. But one thing that I like that they're doing is whenever James Gunn made his announcement of the 31st of January, he did exactly what Dave was talking about. Everything will be uniform, from video games to television, movies. If they do an animated show, like they're doing a Creature Commandos, which is the Creature Commandos I'm really excited for, it's basically a team of the Universal monsters in World War II up till present time as a superhero team. So you've got Frankenstein, Dracula, and a different cast. Whoever voices that character will play that character in live action. The guy that played Hoff from Stranger Things, the sheriff, the dad of Elle in Stranger Things, David Harbour, he's going to be voicing Frankenstein. And when they do live action Creature Commandos, he will be playing that character, which, if you know, he played Hellboy and a few other roles. So there will be a uniform policy when it comes to representation of the roles. Now, how woke James Gunn gets, we'll see, because I mean, he did learn how to play ball in that Disney system, and you know that's the way they do things. So, I don't want to see like a gay black Superman or something, but you know, fingers crossed. But
I mean, it looked like it might happen. I mean, God, like
I would expect it at this point. I would sadly expect it, in, you know, whatever. But I would love to see the Snyderverse come back. I love Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, Suicide Squad, and Zack Snyder's Justice League. And I mean Suicide Squad 2016, not the newest one. I love that first Suicide Squad.
that was good. I agree. That was very good. I
don't remember. I don't remember the first one. Like, I mean, I watched it, but I don't honestly remember anything about that movie. The second one I remember because you had fucking John Cena there, and you had I can't remember that guy's name, but he played Flag.
Right.
Or they take a comic book out of a comic book movie. That makes no sense to me. You're defeating the purpose here. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm just telling you that I remember the second one more than the first, but I thought they were both shit.
Well, I mean,
this one was less shitty.
What? Like, well, which? I mean, was there any particular reason why you weren't a Suicide Squad fan, or I mean, what?
About the first one, I don't know. It just
Either way.
Well, the second one, just the highlight was seeing John Cena play Peacemaker, who I thought was hilarious. I thought the way he portrayed it was just
he was great, and his show was good too.
And I'd never watched the show, actually. I heard it was, but and then the other actor who plays Flag, I know him because I watched
Flag,
the first. Yeah. Was it Colonel
John Kinnaman? Kinnaman.
Yeah, I've seen him in the first.
Joel Kinnaman.
In the first 3 seasons of For All Mankind. It's a series that airs on Disney, Disney Plus, which is basically an alternate view of. It's sort of alternate reality where the Russians got to the moon first. The Americans have to play catch up, and it's during the Cold War and shit. The series went downhill during season 3, so I haven't checked out 4, and I think there's going to be 5. But the first 3 seasons weren't too bad. At least the first 2 weren't. But that guy was the main character and stuff, and he's like sort of like the Buzz Aldrin or fucking Neil Armstrong.
He's a good actor.
Of that, he's a good actor. He looks the role, and especially with what's it called, with the Suicide Squad, I thought he fit the role of Flag perfectly. But just the first one, I don't know. I mean, the Joker should have been in much more of it, I think. But
originally he was. There is a cut, and this is like AJ was talking earlier about the whole Schumacher cut of Batman Forever. And this is one of the things I was saying was almost every film that's made, there's another cut of the film that you never get to see.
At least one.
And in the case of the Suicide Squad 2016, the Ayer cut, because the director's name is David Ayer, I believe is his first name. Basically, what happened, they were making. This was the biggest problem with Warner Brothers. The studio couldn't get out of their own way. They meddled in Batman v Superman. They really screwed around with Suicide Squad. When David Ayer turned in his first cut of Suicide Squad, there was enough material for Joker and Harley alone to have their own movie. It was a darker film. It was based off of the Mad Love comic book, which is Harley Quinn's origin. But they wanted the not family friendly, but the more clash, boom, bang comic book action film, not the kind of darker tale that David Ayer told. So they had to do reshoots. Somewhere there exists this footage, but we'll never see it. I wish we did, but we never will.
I remember when that trended. They were like, restore the Ayerverse.
Restore the let's see, was it? Oh yeah, it was release the air cut and restore the Snyderverse. That was the hashtags that trended,
Oh.
and I would love to see the original intention of Suicide Squad because I think it's a fun movie. Is it a great movie? No, it's a comic book movie. It's not going to win in some award for. It's not Gone with the Wind. I think it's a fun movie. Is my argument, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. But I do want to. You guys were talking about before I got on, which is something else I wanted to talk about. Is who is the worst Batman? And George Clooney, by bar none, is the worst Batman ever. I would
100%.
even think that Pattinson is a better Batman than fucking Clooney.
I agree because, well, I don't know. I really enjoyed the Pattinson movie because it was more detective kind of Batman. But I grew up. I mean, I made myself enjoy the Clooney and Val Kilmer Batman because it's Batman, and I learned to it's awful actually.
Oh
But
no, I agree with you. Whenever I was a child, growing up, I mean, let's see, I was 87, so I was 2 when 89 came out. So let's see, when did Forever come out? 94, 95, something like that.
I think it
I
was
was a
95.
kid whenever it came out.
95.
I thought it was great. 95, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
Whoever
it
said
was
that,
95. I remember I took a girl on a date to watch that movie.
I thought it was great. I thought, this is holy crap. I mean, it's Batman, Robin, there's Two-Face, or whatever. But the older I got, I'm like, this is garbage. And then I got a little bit older, and holy crap, this is really bad. And then you become more and more intelligent as you age, and then I'll never watch those Schumacher films again. I mean, it's a bastardization of everything. The only redeemable thing about anything Schumacher
Batman.
ever did was Poison Ivy.
mm-hmm. Not only that, Alicia Silverstone was hot.
No. That's not Batgirl. No. That girl who grew up in England with a California accent, who was Alfred's
You're talking
niece.
about Batman and Robin now.
Yeah,
not Batman Forever.
Yeah. No. I'm talking about the Schumacher films as a whole here. It was just a whole god awful mess.
Yeah,
it
both
was.
Of them were. Both of them were.
Yes, the travesty. Nobody should ever watch those. They should be burned as well.
But the idea was like, let's take Batman back to the 60s and make it more comical and less dark. And
they wanted to sell toys. That's all it was.
It was stupid. It was a stupid idea.
Yeah. Well, Batman Returns was so dark that basically Warner Brothers, the toys didn't sell as well, and that's all that mattered to them. I mean, go back and watch behind-the-scenes documentaries. Joel Schumacher, years later, finally admits he was basically told, make as much stuff and put it in this movie so we can make toys out of it. They literally told him this. The films themselves, I mean, Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face, as much as I love Tommy Lee Jones in so many roles, he was more Joker than Joker was. I mean, It was weird.
Yep.
It was.
But that's another movie where there's another cut. The original.
Yeah. Well, that's
Batman Forever.
That's the Schumacher cut that AJ was talking about earlier. Yeah.
And the whole premise of the title Batman Forever is that there's a scene that was planned but was never done. But Batman is fighting with a bat or man bat, not the character.
No, he goes into a cave. That's not it. He goes into a cave to find himself because in the original he goes down and he falls down the hole in the cave, and Alfred's telling him that you're afraid of yourself because you don't know. It's really the Schumacher cut is what people need to see. I've seen like the first 14 minutes of it, and it's like, how in the beginning of Batman Forever it starts with the bank heist. It's not even like that. It's like they start up in like Arkham Asylum, and then the doctor's going in to see Two-Face, and Two-Face escapes, and it's like it says on the walls that the bat must be dead, or the bat must die, or something like that. And then it's interesting. I was watching it on YouTube.
They had a scene plan where Batman faces a man that's a bat, and basically that the conclusion of that fight, which is in his mind, is that Batman is forever. That's why the movie is supposed to be called Batman.
It's
Forever.
not. It's not that. I'll send you the clip on YouTube. It's. There's nothing of him fighting. It's just he's pretty much opening his arms to the bat that's coming out, and he's pretty much saying, "I'm Batman." That's pretty much it.
I don't know. Either way, the Schumacher films almost killed Batman. I mean,
it did.
It did.
The Schumacher films were so bad. It took Christopher Nolan going a complete opposite direction to even revive the character. I mean, was. You didn't see Batman action figures on the shelves. You didn't. It was like the devastation was so badly done to that character that it took him about 10 years to revive. I mean, that's, it can't be understated how bad those movies are. And I mean, and it's like I said, if they were to release the Schumacher cut tomorrow, I'm going to watch it for, if not anything, review purposes, just to see. But would I ever watch it again? Probably not. I don't like his Gotham, this weird neo-Gothic.
And in the second movie, there's statues even larger than in the previous movie.
Right. There's statues in the middle of town between bridges. How does that even work?
And they're the size of fucking skyscrapers.
Right. Let's also not forget. Go ahead, Dan.
I was just say, talking about neon in Batman Returns, where Batman Forever, everything is neon, like the lights through the sky. Right. You've got the gang that shows up to kick Robin's ass.
Wear glow sticks and
you got all the black lights and all neon and stuff.
The fucking Batmobile was all neon too. I mean, it was glowing, and I hated
his
that.
His Batmobile had the gay pride colors swirling in the middle of it. How could you not see that? It was horrible. I mean, and let's also not forget in Batman and Robin how Batman almost kills Robin by shutting down his motorcycle on the arm of that statue. Hoping that he can slow down. He almost kills his own Robin.
And I will say this against Tim Burton is that in Batman Returns, it's just there's too much opulence in the city of Gotham. So again, all these huge fucking statues and shit, and it didn't need to go that way, especially when in the first one it looks like fucking Chicago or New York or something. It looks like a real gritty city, and in the next one it's this fantasy world where you've got these worthless statues everywhere, and then it just gets worse from there.
Well, that's one thing I like that they did. Oh, go ahead, Casey.
I gotta complain. You know how Batman had his own credit card? Wouldn't the credit card company probably figure out?
Robin, he pulls out a fucking bat card. Never leave home without it.
He never leaves the cave without it, don't you know? Yeah.
Yeah. If you look at the expiration date was forever. So, but.
Yeah, and I'm sure that they also took it at Epstein's Island since, Clooney got so
that's how Clooney paid for all those child slaves. It makes sense.
But I don't know. You figure that the credit card company could figure out who Batman was, and the money's coming.
The fucking thing is so stupid.
Right. That was just as bad. I can't remember which Friday the 13th it is. I think it was part 6 or 7. I can't remember. But one of the opening kills, Jason throws a fence post through the front windshield of the car, and he kills the chick. And when she falls face first into the water puddle, her Visa or Master credit card comes floating through the screen, and that was her product placement. it was just as equally bad as that. That's all that was. That was Visa or MasterCard, whoever it was that did it in the Batman film. That was product placement at its worst. But
Yeah, I think it was
the,
Visa, wasn't it?
No,
I can't
I don't
remember.
even think it was any card like any official
I
card.
think it was. I'd have to go back and look, but I'm pretty sure it was. I don't know.
Well, while you look that up, I want to quickly say is that I'm not a fan of Robert Pattinson.
I'm not in it.
I don't like too much his portrayal, and much more the look as well. He shouldn't have had this like 1990s skater look with the hair, or gothy, whatever. It should have been more clean cut and such. But that being said, the way I view that movie is more of like a noir detective novel, okay, or comic book.
Yeah.
And I love pulp type characters and stuff. So we're thinking more like 1930s, 1950s detective, like or that sort of storyline that is in a city that's gritty, there's crime. You've got detectives that are on the take. It's not like this shiny new looking, you leave the city and the office is like looking like futuristic and stuff. So, and the way that the story progresses, how it's a long burn, how you have Pattinson sort of analyzing these things and trying to put the crime scene together, is a lad on a crime scene and finds a spot, takes photos and shit. It's a lot more a detective story than it is a Batman story, I guess. But he is he is the world's greatest detective. So it's not, obviously you're not going to see this guy go versus Superman, but I don't think that's the intention. That the intention really is that this is more of a detective movie, and this character who dresses up and calls himself the Batman is the feature detective. So I don't see a problem with that, and that takes a lot for me to say that, because again, I'm not a fan of Pattinson's acting or the person that he is, because this is how much respect he had for the movie. He fucked the girl that played Catwoman in the movie on the Batmobile on the final day of filming. The director found them and reamed them out and shit, and then she got pregnant from the guy from that discretion.
I've never heard that before. That's great.
Hey, you know what? That's the best way to do it. Like, imagine you being conceived on the Batmobile. I would love that.
I do think, because the new plan that James Gunn has installed, now they're not. They announced Batman Brave and the Bold. They're going to be doing a new in continuity Batman that will be the Batman of the DC world. And films like Pattinson's Batman films are going to be Elseworlds. They will be actually labeled DC Elseworld, much like Joker will.
Are they finally going to fucking? Are you sure about this? Because again, this is a contention of mine. Is that that's all they ever had to say with their fucking movies. If they wanted to make Elseworld,
you can go back and watch the James Gunn announcement yourself. They're going to have one version of these characters across all media, like I was saying, from video game to movies to TV to whatever it is, to Max streaming services, whatever. The Batman Brave and the Bold will be the in continuity, will be a new Batman. They're going to do the Damian Wayne storyline, where he has Natalia.
Don't you think that's jumping the gun? Like, don't you think that's going too quick? Like, that is something that they could build up to, because we all know fucking his origin and shit. We don't have to retell it, but you can flash back it. But I mean, there's so much in between that could be covered. Why are they going to just
I don't mind it. I don't mind it, because we can always tell stories that have already happened, for whether it's a prequel or whatever, because I want the Bat family. I want Nightwing, Red Hood, Batgirl.
I don't.
All of them.
I don't want the Bat family.
I'm tired of seeing Batman by himself. Give me all the Robins. That's what I'm looking for. But films like Matt Reeves' Batman and Batman 2 and Joker 2 and any other film that they do outside of the DCU proper will be labeled DC Elseworlds. And I think any if the Batman, like, let's say the Batman 3 comes out after Batman Brave and the Bold, and it's labeled DC Elseworlds, I don't think it will do as well because it's not the Batman anymore, even though it's called the Batman.
Stream it.
But
just like What If. Stream it. Call
right.
it, Elseworlds.
Right. No, there are so many good DC stories that don't fit into a continuity, from Superman Red Sun to The Dark Knight Returns to a thousand other stories.
What about Sandman? I'm not talking the gay Neil Gaiman Sandman. That's
aren't they doing a Netflix show about that right now, or is that what you're talking about?
No, I'm asking, like, how about give me that? Give me,
I think. Well, that's what I'm saying. I think that show's already on Netflix. I know there's a season 1 of it.
I don't know about that.
No,
not the Neil Gaiman's Sandman. Not that shit. Not that garbage that even he raped. He created a character, and all this.
Are you talking about
it for fucking wokeism? I'm talking about a.
Are you talking about the one that was in the Justice Society of America?
Yes.
Oh,
I love Justice Society. I love that take. I love those characters. Yeah. It's much more, but that's the thing. It's sort of like 50 style, somewhat over the top comic book character. But
it took place in the World War II era.
Way.
Yeah. I'd be down for a Justice Society film that's a period piece that takes place in the 40s. I think that'd be cool.
I would love that. Have you ever seen New Frontier?
Yes, New Frontier is. I wish the movie was more like, excuse me, the comic book, but it's a good movie. Fucking choking.
So Pinky says a Batman Gotham by Gaslight live action would be awesome for a streaming movie. No, that needs to be just like What If. It needs to be animated.
They've already done the animated version of that. You can see it.
I have not seen that.
Yep. They did a Batman Gotham by Gaslight. Now, it is different from the book slightly. They changed the ending, but it's still just as good and it's worth watching. So.
And Big T, I don't think there should be movies that are exclusively released on streaming, comic book wise. Series, yes, because then it'll keep them hooked and it'll keep them informed as to what happens between shit. But movies need to be on the big screen.
Well, not just that, but we need to slow down on how many movies a year we're getting. We don't need 4 Marvel movies a year, plus a couple television shows. Who can keep up with that nonsense?
Exactly. That's where they failed a lot, and they hurt themselves. Yes.
Give me 2 movies and one series, one 8-episode run a year, and I'm good. That's all I need. Give me a movie about March. Give me one in October. Give me a series in between. That's all I need. You're not going to overload the market that way.
A couple of the series on Disney Plus. I mean, I really enjoyed Loki, and
it's a series though, not a movie.
Right.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. Like I didn't mind having have 2 series, like have Loki and then a continuance of Captain America and
Captain America and Falcon?
Winter Soldier, or is it?
Well, that's the problem with Marvel. If you miss 2 episodes of Miss Marvel and some big plot line in the next Captain America film, you don't know what it is because there's so much content to try to keep up with that the majority of people don't have the time for. It's just too much. We're overloading the circuits here. You can't process that much information. And we need to just cut back. Give us quality, not quantity, because go back to, I'd say, the first 2 phases of Marvel. They were all great. Everything was fun. Besides Thor 2, everything was pretty good. especially the Captain America movies. But once they hit Endgame and Phase 4 came into play, all of it was garbage, and they just kept flooding you with it.
Yeah, but that's not. I
Everybody
don't necessarily think, in Marvel's defense, I don't necessarily think that that's their fault in the sense that it was Disney that decided to up the woke shit.
I agree with that.
For example,
All right.
I think this is a perfect point. Is that Ms. Marvel did not even need to be introduced to have Infinity War and what the last one was, whatever.
Now, Miss
Endgame?
Marvel or Captain Marvel?
Endgame.
Which one?
Well, but okay, the final. Sorry, I'm blanking out here. I'm a little stoned, but you had Avengers: Infinity War, and then the second one was Endgame, right?
Endgame.
Yeah. So I think she was in Infinity War, wasn't she at the end?
Okay, you're talking about Captain Marvel, not Miss Marvel. That little.
Oh, sorry,
Indian
Captain
bride.
Marvel, not Ms. Marvel.
Yeah.
Well,
So that's why I was getting confused.
well, if you really want to talk, she was Ms. Marvel and she was Carol Danvers, but
Right.
you know,
But
and later on Captain blah blah blah. But yeah, it started in this universe as Captain Marvel. You are correct. I was wrong.
Right.
But yeah, Captain Marvel introduction wasn't necessary for any of the Avengers movie at all. It could have started in Phase 4, and bringing her in sort of just really ruined things a lot. I still do not accept that is how Nick Fury got his eye like that. Okay, because he told us
Yeah,
it's
fucking
not how he
cat.
got his eye like that. There was no fucking alien cat that scratched it. Okay, and the Avengers name didn't come from fucking Captain Marvel's fucking aircraft. It was something that was cited back in the fucking 40s with fucking Stark's father.
Right. Well, that's the thing. Marvel is its own. I mean, it's been its own entity for some time, but it's almost like they're a big bank and they think they're too big to fail. Yeah, I mean, Marvel at this point is riding on their past wins, not what good they're currently doing. When a new property comes out or a new film, like we've gone past Chris Evans, Captain America, Thor, Chris Hemsworth. He did an interview the other day. He basically said that Thor, the newest one, sucked, and he's going to go do other stuff. Iron Man's gone. They've all been replaced with minority sidekicks that nobody cares about, or women. Sometimes both.
Kang universe, sorry, the Kang dynasty, and then
Kang is he's screwed. Huh?
I can't remember. There's another movie that was supposed to be planned to come after that, but as many people may have heard, all studios are pushing back, probably due to this writer strike, but they're pushing back releases of all their movies at some point by 3 years. Like I think possibly the last Avatar movie that's planned to come out is going to come out in 2031. They interviewed what's her name,
James Cameron.
No, Zoe Sartania, and she's like, great. I started this series when I was this age, and now I'm going to be 51 or 53 when the movie comes out.
Well, I mean, didn't the first one come in like early 2000s?
I don't remember, and honestly, I don't care for that fucking series. So
save your time. Just go watch Ferngully and don't worry about Avatar. It's the same fucking movie. It's just with less CGI, same plot. But hell, Seth Rollins is playing a villain in the new Captain America film, even though Captain America now has no superhero super soldier serum or whatever. He's just a black guy with the shield now, but he has all the powers. It's just Marvel has jumped the gun. We've seen the best that Marvel's going to be, and that's kind of sad to say because it was a fun ride there for a while. I remember when they were first coming out. I'm sure y'all do too. It was really cool. Now it's just, we have to go see a new Marvel movie. Well, like we're a alien from They Live, and they're just reminding us, go see Black Panther 2 with the 100-pound girl Black Panther. Okay, who gives a crap?
When a lot of people even said they should just recast the character. Keep
Yeah.
the
Right.
thing going.
They
It's
were-
understandable.
The fans were calling
he
for it.
passed away, and now you need another character. But to move it on to a she panther, like a lot of people don't like that, and it doesn't fit the story.
No.
When the villain was defeated by basically a microwave in that movie, that was the hero of everybody. It was a microwave that sucked the water out of Namor. I just saved you $15. Don't go see it. But it is what it is. It's just I miss. My favorite thing about going to the movies is event movies. I can still remember going to see Twister whenever I was a kid. I was in Corpus Christi, Texas. The year that it came out, me and my old man were sitting in that movie theater while real tornado sirens were going off because there was one in the area. So I got to see a tornado movie while a tornado was happening. You think I'll ever forget that as long as I live? It's the times going to the movies. It's the stories that go along with it. I'll never forget going to see the first Suicide Squad, like I talked about earlier. So many experiences I could tell you. I want movies to be special again. Not, if I don't go see this Marvel movie, I'm not going to understand the next three. That becomes homework. That's what DC needs to do here. DC needs to not overload, give us quality, not quantity, and make us want to go see it and not feel like we have to.
No, but they also have to make you want to invest in the franchise. So go get the comic books. You see there's an animated movie. You download it. The kids want
play the video game, buy the action figures, all of it. Yeah.
So they've got to push that aspect as well. It's not just the movies and stuff.
Yeah, the point of the movie is to sell the toy and the video game and the television show. It's a movie is a 2.5-hour commercial. That's what you're seeing. When you see, Batman has a new suit, I have to go buy that action figure to put it on my shelf. That's all that is. It's a toy commercial.
No, see, that's bullshit, Pat. I remember back in the 80s when Batman had like a gold bodysuit. That pissed me off right there.
I have that actually.
Batman. Yeah. Or Batman with blue camouflage. I'm like,
Force Batman or whatever it is.
Yeah. I'm like, I want just a black Batman like he's supposed to be.
So you want a black Batman, Casey?
Did you know that
you know what I'm talking about? Black suited Batman.
Casey wants Batman to come from the hood and be like, yo, dog, I'm going to save Gotham, yo. That's what he wants his Batman.
Today's age, it wouldn't be a shocker. I mean,
you want Batman to use the N-word fluently and get away with it. Is that what you want here,
But I hated those toys because it was like when I had like a gold Batman, I was like, he's not gold. I'm like,
okay, well, here's the thing though. Your mom and dad buy you that all black suited Batman action figure, right?
Yeah.
Kenner, Hasbro, Mattel, whoever it may be, has the license at the time. Says, we already got stupid Casey's parents to buy him this one toy. How can we sell some more? Because we want more money. Because we're in business, we're capitalists, right? So then they sell you the Batmobile and the Batcycle. Oh, here's Batman's alternate suit when he fights Mr. Freeze, and it's a freeze-proof suit. So variants of that figure come out. And let's not forget, it costs about $10,000 to $20,000 to make a mold to even make that action figure. So they better get their money's worth out of it. Why do you think John Cena wears
don't reuse the same
why do you think John Cena wears a different shirt every 6 months, like we talked about the other day, to get more money out of you? It's the same thing.
Well, yeah. But
also,
it pisses me off. These kids nowadays have way better toys than I do now. I mean,
yeah, we'll all agree with that. Kids today have
100%.
toys, and we don't. We
100%.
But
I still buy toys, and I'm a mid-30s grown man. So it is what it is.
But That was a good topic, guys. I didn't expect this to happen. I thought we were just like,
I could go for
So,
hours probably on fucking
are you
comic
my
books.
friend again, Casey, or do we still have to be rivals? I mean, how are we doing this?
I guess we're cool now. I mean,
Well,
they
no,
cooled down.
I haven't forgiven you yet. I have to forgive you. You turned your back on me. You realize that? You know, I'm just asking, are you going to be a prick anymore? Or,
I can't.
you,
I, I can't promise
huh?
in the future. I mean,
Well, I'll tell you what. How about you just write me a list or type me out a list of things your likes and dislikes, so I know what to not talk bad about, so you won't be my friend no more. How about that? How's that sound?
hey, have you guys ever seen like the the 30s Batman at all?
The live action?
The serials, yeah, those are actually
Yeah.
kind of fun to watch. They're on YouTube.
Oh yeah. I had a VHS tape of the second. I think it was like the second run of it, but it it was good. I really enjoyed it. But I love how like the Batmobile is a normal car, like it would be a convertible, but no one would know once the top comes up. Oh, that's the Batmobile.
It's
Like
like
oh
Superman, he takes his glasses off and curls a spit curl in his hair, and nobody, oh, who are you? We've never seen you before, guy that just ran out of here. It's the same thing.
true. That that was the
Right.
biggest problem for
Right.
Superman. I mean,
I mean, he's just got to curl his hair and take his prescriptions off, and he's a whole new person. I mean,
but
there's a certain level of unreality that you have to accept when you're watching these things.
that's true. But like I said, God, that was a good topic. I didn't even think this would then one.
I expected to come on here for 5 minutes, yank your chain a little bit, and get off. I've still got company in the other room that's probably mad at me right now, but I'll go deal with her in a minute. But
Yeah, I didn't mean to hold you up. That's why I was like saying, like I'm
it's
not
fine.
pushing you.
I'll
But
go. Make up for it.
well, I was showing, promoting Frank's review of God. Where was he reviewing the? God, I forgot.
Tomorrow night
You're his
tomorrow night
man.
tomorrow night we're reviewing Pearl Harbor. That's what you're
Yeah,
talking
Pearl
about.
Harbor. I had that up for a while to try to promote.
We
Again,
got that going.
Casey, I know that you never said that Ray Stevenson was going to die. I know that you have a penchant for predicting the death of others, but Ray Stevenson.
Oh yeah, do you still have a feeling about me, Casey, or did that go away yet?
I guess the bad feeling's going away. I mean,
Okay, we're good.
I didn't
Just check.
mean that. It just like it's just a
Okay.
bad feeling. I mean, that doesn't
Oh.
mean anything.
Since we're talking about comics, I wanted to add that for those that don't know, Ray Stevenson played the Punisher in Punisher
Warzone.
Warzone, yes, and
Great movie.
it, in my opinion, it's the best Punisher movie out there. I think he made the best Punisher over every other actor. There's been, I believe, 5 that have played him.
Dolph Lundgren, Thomas
Yep.
Jane, Stevenson, the guy that did it, Netflix.
I can't remember his name.
I count 4.
Okay, so
he was
4.
he played Shane on Walking Dead. I can't remember his name either. Shit.
It's a small head.
Somebody in the comments. I don't know. Whatever.
But yeah, so for some reason I think there's a 5th one, but regardless, is that I still think he played the best Punisher. He actually looked like he was straight of John Romita Jr.'s comic book when he was drawing Punisher, and that was a while ago. And the movie truly is visceral. Like, I mean, Frank Castle doesn't talk much, and this movie just
the ending of that movie is nuts.
It's a perfect movie. I think he's more true to the comic book than Thomas Jane was, but I think Thomas Jane's performance for the first Punisher movie was brilliant. I didn't like the idea that they moved things to Miami, but regardless, is that I still think that we did get a more vocal or verbal Punisher, as we've seen with War Journal, where you have him writing his thoughts and such, and you can understand his motivation. So again, the narration that Jane does with that movie, the portrayal, I see him as a Jim Lee Punisher, while Stevenson is the John Romita Jr. So when it comes to certain franchises, I like to look at them differently. Like, you know what, the first Punisher movie is perfect on its own. It's got its faults and stuff, but it's separate from the second movie, which is Warzone, which is separate from the original Punisher movie with Dolph Lundgren. Each of them is the way I see it is like different glasses. So you're putting on a different pair of glasses, you see things in a different way, and each of these is a envisioning by the director and or writer to who the Punisher is. Now, in these cases, at least with the Punisher, I think the understanding has been good. With Batman, for example, well, with Joel Schumacher, you can see that clearly the understanding wasn't there, or he was told, like you said, don't do it right.
Quickly, I know Casey wants to wrap up here soon, probably, but Joel Schumacher was basically instructed to make an updated version of the Batman 66, which was Adam West for the ones that don't know, and make it as kid-friendly as possible and make the ability to sell toys was their prime focus. It was not make the best story, whatever. It was make it the most fun so they could sell cups at McDonald's and flood Walmart and Toys R Us with as many action figures as possible. But, like I started this out with, there's 1,000 versions of Batman. There will be 1,000 more in the future. Batman is I'd be willing to bet if you went to starving children in the middle of India and showed them the Batman symbol, they would probably know what it is at this point. He is everywhere. It's just,
the three superheroes that are understood throughout the world, if you say them to kids in any other country, are Spider-Man, Superman, and Batman.
Yeah. Those three have surpassed. There's no way you can't know who they are. You may not be a fan of them, but you know who they are. You know that Spider-Man is Peter Parker. You know who Superman is. You know who
There's
Batman
a clip of a kid who's given in Mexico a Spider-Man piñata, and then the kid can't carry out the beating, and then just throws down the bat and goes up to the piñata and grabs it and hugs it and cries because it could not, beat its hero, Spider-Man, in piñata form.
That's what I'm saying. It's those three characters have ascended to levels, almost religious icon levels, I would argue. You could put those logos, a black spider, a big red and yellow S, or a black bat. People are going to know what those are. Hell, how many Spider-Men have we had in the last 10 years? It is what it is.
And they don't even have to be part of the culture because the character connects. Right. That's the thing. It transcends all these different cultures.
Even when there's not a movie of Spider-Man or Batman or a television show going on, there's an action figure for sale. Or you can go to the t-shirt section and you can buy a t-shirt of your favorite hero when there's nothing going on because they are an icon that everybody wants a piece of. They identify with it. Much like I said, I identify with the Frank Miller Dark Knight Returns because I can still remember the first time I sat down and read that comic book. That changed my life because holy crap, this is Batman to me. I had seen other versions, but that was Batman to me.
See, I'm going to go back a little bit to that Spider-Man piñata where the kid was crying. Hold on. Shouldn't he be blindfolded so you didn't know what the pinata looked like, anyways?
You take that up with them. I guess you're technically correct in that matter, but maybe there's some cultures that don't do that. But regardless, yeah, I mean, I'm sure you've seen the video, and it's just so cute. I mean, the kid obviously likes Spider-Man, and the parents thought, "Hey, let's get a Spider-Man pinata," but the kid never wanted to beat Spider-Man. It's so cute.
Well, that's the thing. It's, some, they, I mean, not to get too far off the mark here, but it makes a point. Casey, you just watched the Terrifier films recently, a few weeks ago, right?
Oh, yeah. God.
Well,
yes, I did.
whatever
I
it was.
watched the third one, and I was trying to watch hold on. God, I can't really think. It's Pinhead by Hellraiser.
Pinhead is Hellraiser. Yes. But my
Okay,
point is,
I did watch Terrifier 3, I believe.
yes, in the people in the scary movie world, your icons are Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger, Ghostface, Pinhead. These characters that have ascended to another level of, if you went to a random person and showed them their picture, would they know who it was? Well, right now, because we haven't had a horror icon since probably Jigsaw in the Saw movie. So it's been a good bit of time. But Art the Clown from those Terrifier films is a character that possesses the abilities of becoming another icon. And in the scary movie world, the debate has been, is Art an icon yet? Does he pass the random person test? If you go into a shopping mall or a Walmart or a restaurant or whatever and say, who is this? Are they going to know? Just random Jane and Jack and Jill? Certain things like that get to that level. And when you're dealing with something like this Batman stuff, it's so. People get passionate about Batman because it means so much to them. They remember the first time they saw Batman, whether it was the animated series or 89 or 66. They can tell you their first Batman t-shirt and action figure, whatever it is, because he's icon level. And it's almost like a Greek god of our culture. We don't have Zeus and all of them.
No, well, you're
have
on
our
to
other
something. This is what is the primordial archetypes.
Yes.
And this is again, these stories are. It's just a different name, a different appearance, but it's the same story. So whether it be Zeus, whether it be Thor, whether it be fucking Superman, it's the same story being told for a new generation, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Exactly. That's exactly where I was going.
I'm okay with that, but when it's like how, like, when they reboot Batman like a billion times, we had to watch the fucking origin story again.
That you can you can blame that directly on the directors and the writers, because I remember back when the death and return of Superman occurred, I was imagining how they could fucking do this in a movie. And I fucking, formulated exactly how you'd be able to incorporate speeding people up to what came prior, because again, the storyline in the comic books takes several issues to get through, but it is very easy to do things, with quick screen flashes and a slight narration, all this sort of thing. Like there's, how could I put this? Hollywood writers suck.
Yes.
Oh,
the fans do better jobs. And you know why? Because the fucking fan vids that you can find online are fucking incredible. The shit that people have done for Star Wars looks better graphically with their CGI than what you see in multi-million-dollar budgets. What does that tell you? The fans know that.
Well, it's because the fans care. The fans are invested. Writers, I mean, it's like, okay, I don't know if you've ever went to any of these fan conventions for, sci-fi or whatever. It doesn't matter. You have like the stars. They'll do Q&A panels. Whether it's like I went to one. I went to HorrorCon down here in Texas, and they had a Halloween Q&A. They had some of the stars of the different movies here, and fans would get up and ask these detailed questions that only somebody who has spent years watching, retaining, studying would know. And these actors, they don't retain and remember this stuff. They're paid to be this person for 2 months or whatever it is, and they go on to the next role. While the guy that asked the question, that writes that good fan fiction, has spent 15 years formulating why does Batman do X, Y, and Z, where George Clooney probably doesn't know what happened in his own movie because he never watches his own movie. That's just the way that it is. It's a job to them, whereas to a fan, it's a way of life. You know what I'm saying? It's way too different perspectives.
I could see that. I mean, that makes very good sense. I mean, I would kind of relate it to video games a little bit, like how, like, I would learn about all this stuff, and sometimes, like, people would actually, let's look at the Zelda time line. They were just like, oh, we're just going to put a new Zelda game. They didn't really care at the time about a timeline, and fans would find a way to interlink everything as a timeline. Well, it took forever for Nintendo to finally make one up. So I could see that. That was a great point.
Well, look at it this way. Hollywood and all of especially the ones that are there now, their idea of being creative and new is, oh, well, let's race swap them and make them gay. Gay us.
Yeah.
And
that's what they do.
The same story that we've retold.
Yeah.
Just marketed you, and I don't know if you guys know. You should be aware. Sarah Polly, a Canadian actress who, what a surprise!
And I saw her in Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead.
She's going to be directing the new live-action Bambi movie. So if you want to traumatize your kids, be sure to send them to a movie where they're going to do what they did with the animated movie and traumatize kids.
There's a Bambi horror film that's going to be made.
I did not know.
Yeah, well, you probably haven't seen it, but Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, it came out this year.
I didn't watch that.
Which one?
Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. It's a horror.
Oh no, no,
I
see. Again, the connection's not well. I'm not hearing the connection well, but Winnie the Pooh. Yeah. I've heard of it. I've heard that people watch it and stuff. I'm not a horror guy. I'm not interested in that sort of thing.
Yeah, well, they're doing it. Winnie the Pooh,
I know,
Blood
but there's other. There's yeah. I know what you're saying is that there's other licenses. Again, they're in public domain now, like Winnie the Pooh. Yeah. So now anybody can take that topic and make anything that they want. So that's why, we got the Winnie the Pooh one, but what's the next one that's coming out that's also horror based?
They're doing a Winnie the Pooh, or they're doing a Winnie the Pooh 2. They're doing a Bambi. They're doing a Peter Pan one. And there's one more that
not the Bambi. And what was the last one?
Winnie the Pooh 2, Peter Pan, and Bambi are the ones that I can remember. For as far as fairy tales go, there may be some more, but I'm not for sure. But
yeah. So I didn't hear about Bambi, but the Peter Pan one, I did hear about that one. But yeah,
if
public domain.
Peter Pan could actually be very interesting because that's a troubling story to begin with. But
especially with Hook, I think that would be good.
Well, hell, Peter Pan alone, a grown man that refuses to grow up, that thinks he's a child, that could get. I mean, hell, you could cast Michael Jackson in that and it really fucks people up. depending on how they want to make this film, they can go a lot of ways. But
Yeah,
it
but
is.
again, what I'm saying is that this is MKUltra level stuff because again, trauma to young kids works very well. And well, if you're going to do it live action, I mean, the animated one already traumatized a big portion of the population. What do you think the live action one's going to do?
I look at Bambi as a how-to
Again,
for
at this point, everyone should understand that movies are also used as primary tools for revelation of the method, which is the spell casting method of the elite, as well as for predictive programming and traumatizing children. So.
Hollywood has always been the entertainment division of the CIA. If you don't know that that's been a thing since the beginning, you're a fool. But it is what it is.
How do you think about that, Casey? Getting all this great knowledge on your channel, which is usually just filled with you losing a video game.
Well, granted, there's sometimes a lot of times when I do the gameplay, it's the first time I play it. So
that's a great excuse because again, you've had these games around for how long and you've never bothered to play them. It's like, oh, well, I'm just going to play a game that's been on my wall that, since I started YouTube and you've seen it here. And, now I'm going to play it.
You should really rage quit more on camera. People like to watch that.
I've rage quit a couple times on Fortnite where I'll be like, I just can't. But
just get up.
He just says like, guys, I'm out of time. I can't play this game no more. I kept losing, but I'm
like right before you die. Oh, we're out of time. We got to go.
Yep.
Whatever.
Yeah, exactly. We know what you're doing. Okay.
Hey, you guys don't need to see the very end of this. This is like,
or now you know more about this than I would, Casey. But has there ever been a YouTube video game person that their whole gimmick is they're bad at video games?
Oh, that's
not that I know
because that's a genius marketing play. You can just suck whether it's real or not. Still review your game.
He's going to make a lot of people hate him, and it's going to be difficult for me. Not
it's the internet. Everybody hates everybody.
Lose
a game. The way that it works.
I think that's a good idea.
It's enraging enough to watch him lose when he's actually trying. I don't want to see him lose and like purposely try.
What I'm saying is, change your name. You're not Casey anymore. You're Steve, the bad video game player, whatever it is.
He's Stacy is Raw.
Oh,
Stacy is Raw. There you go. Stacy is Raw. There you go.
Wig.
And then you can be
like a typical Democrat voter, even with that.
Play off the transgender movement. Let's not forget that it is Fag Month. So if you start that channel tonight, you'll probably get a lot of subscribers. You'll probably be getting monetized by tomorrow if you hurry up. But listen, just a gimmick you might consider. The bad video game player on YouTube. Just make it all common.
Idea.
Just play into it. But not too much.
Well, I mean,
to the line.
I did recently play NBA Jam. I was playing I think it was the Sega CD version, and then the Genesis version. And Sega CD, I just put it on easy, and I got my ass kicked. And then on Genesis, I put it on very easy. Huh?
Wow.
I don't believe you got your ass kicked in a video game. Impossible.
And then on the Genesis version, I put on very easy, and I was winning for a while, and at the very end, I got fucked. It was like I was up by 10 points on NBA Jam, and then here they come. So
there you go. Like I said, just play into the. I know I suck at video games, but don't say it. But pretend like you're trying, but you're still going to lose. You still get your review in, you get your time in, whatever. But it's a fresh gimmick on something that you already enjoy. I think it would work tremendously. So, I don't know. The game and stuff more than I do. I'm nobody, but it's an idea.
I like it. we'll go ahead and let's go ahead.
Fucking poison ivy covered in that shit.
I'm gonna shout out. We had Mikhail, and we had AJ left just recently.
I was
We had
wondering where he
Steve
was. He
Allen.
wasn't saying anything.
Well, I mean, it happens. I mean, when you get a huge topic and a couple people talks, I mean,
Yeah, I didn't
I'm
mean
not
this to
gonna.
take over the whole show. Sorry about that, AJ. It just shit kept going.
No,
Sorry about that.
I have no problem with it. It was a good topic.
I know. I didn't want him to feel like we ran him off his own show. I didn't want.
No, I'm sure he's okay. So, shout out to AJ Raiders, and yeah, like I said, Steve Callan. You want to shout out Frank, Tex?
Yeah. Tomorrow night, Harsh Truth. We're Pearl Harbor review. Come hang out. About 7 Central. So just subscribe now, and you'll know when we're live.
What about you, Dave?
What about me?
Do you want to shout anything out?
I want to shout out Casey is Raw. Be sure to tune in whenever he chooses to go live.
Usually over someone, apparently. It's
I'll
always
probably go
not-
live over us
Or he'll
tomorrow night
predict
just to
your
steal clout.
Oh yeah. I released a Sega CD game. It was called Chuck Rock. Horrible ass game.
Chuck Ross.
So
I saw that video and well, I didn't watch it, but I saw that you released it, and I kind of think to the PC Engine / TurboGrafx 16, and think they probably ripped off Bonk's Adventure.
No, Bronx is way better than this.
Of course,
fucking
it's way
game.
better. Those graphics fucking make me salivate still to this day.
The only thing that was good from that game that used the Sega CD capabilities was the intro, and that was it. Everything else could have been on the Sega Genesis. Everything else was on the Sega Genesis.
Well, I guess Genesis don't then.
No, just
That's a
Genesis
joke.
does.
You should be laughing because you know the Nintendo don't joke.
Yeah, I
Remember that?
know.
Yeah,
I
well,
know.
Genesis don't. That's everyone should be laughing right now. I'm fucking witty as fuck. Unbelievable.
So, Casey, when can we look forward to your flash review with Homeless Jim behind 7-Eleven?
You know what? You say it's out tomorrow. I mean, maybe I'm gonna go
Yeah.
watch it tomorrow, or at least I'm gonna try to watch it by this weekend. So,
Well, make sure you talk about Star Wars real good in your flash review so I can get educated. Okay?
Star Wars.
Do that for me.
There's no Star Wars. It all ended with Return of the Jedi. There's nothing that came out.
Oh, I know, but during a Casey film review, that's what's so fun because it starts out as one thing, and then by the halfway through, you're on a whole nother franchise that's not even related. It's actually pretty cool how he does it.
Well, he needs a producer to keep him on subject.
yeah,
I'm a fan of
it.
It's all good.
I had to rein him in. He was talking about the Avengers, and we just finished watching Creed 3. I was like, or it was the Avengers or Spider-Man. It's like, okay, we need to reel right back into Creed movie. But I was like, it was funny though. But I think
Not just that, but be mindful of spoilers because he'll say, "I'm not going to spoil it," and then proceed immediately to spoil the very dead young thing he just said he weren't going to. So,
well, I think I also flashed on the screens like spoilers. I think I did that. But,
just know that just because you're doing a flash review doesn't mean you can show off your pecker, Casey. You can't do that on camera. You know that, right? So keep your pants on. That's what we're asking for.
Well, for everyone, I'm Casey is wrong. We've got Devious Dave Rose and Tex, and this
Adios.
was Wednesday Night Nitro. Thank you guys.